Hey, it's no fault.
Sorry about that, everyone. That was a remnant of 2020. Sandra Green has requested your presence in Elysium, Xavier.
Just me or everybody else?
The note only said you. It didn't say anything about anyone else, but isn't Elysium popular? Aren't there lots of kids there hanging out? Isn't it where all the cool kindred go?
Ha, no.
Oh.
There we go. Alright, well. Cool. I'm supposed to go over there anyways.
Oh,
Wife's calling.
maybe she's just being thorough.
No, I have to go babysit somebody again.
Well, just make sure you don't tear your clothes up too much. I am running out of thread. Oh, wait. Come here a second. Come here. She takes a little tissue out of her pocket, licks it, and makes sure to scrub a little bit of blood off the wound where you poured blood into a glass for her. There. All better.
Can I leave now?
Just be safe.
I go to walk out and I turn around. Fuck, where are my keys?
I've put them in your jacket pocket.
Alright, bye. Turn around and walk away.
Boys. Meanwhile, in Elysium, Silas, Armon, and Caleb have met up at Elysium, since they were summoned there to meet with Pandora, who says she has something for them. They have arrived early, as none of them understand the concept of being fashionably late. After each of them has ordered a drink, they find a table away from the rest of the few kindred that have gathered, so they might discuss the events that happened last time they were together. Cedra is noticeably not with them, and they still need to process their effect that they had upon her and her mortal friend.
Silas would be sitting there with the group. He's slowly drinking his drink, not really seeming interested in it at all, just drinking it for a show of things, more or less. And he's looking around. Do you have anything interesting going on tonight, Amon, Caleb?
I worry your friend, the sensational one.
Cedra.
Yes, not. Goes without saying that I've been replaying our last adventure together over and over. She's noticeably absent tonight, is she not?
Yeah, I can imagine that our last excursion left a lasting impression on her. I know how
I
it
don't.
feels, so.
I don't lean into my dark gifts that much. Rarely had call to use them. I find in my line of work, my quarry almost expects that. Coming at them with a more mundane approach tends to catch most off guard.
That is certainly understandable. It makes sense. And there is a point to what you're saying. If memory serves, I believe that that mortal was of great import to her. Perhaps, perhaps she's struggling with that.
Yeah. Silas, do you have any mortals that you care about? Maybe not directly, that you interact with, but
I find if there is something you care about, it's best not to talk about it.
that's understandable.
Mm,
But
I know if I were to be your enemy, I would certainly use those things important and close to you as points of leverage.
you'd be amazed about how even people you have in your own, I guess this isn't really a friend group, is it? Your own coterie, I should say, uh, might do that indirectly.
you care to elaborate?
Remember the old man that Silas kind of socketed into his place?
Sure. Oh, yes.
I'm afraid I've never met him.
I have a feeling you actually would have liked him.
Well, regardless of things we lament, I suppose even if we were not to blame, and I do quite rightly shoulder some of the blame for what happened, I imagine she'd want to grieve regardless.
Indeed.
As the group
Understandable.
talk, Pandora elegantly glides down the iron-wrought staircase and heads straight to her familiar booth and table. As soon as she sits down, without even motioning to the bartender, he drops what he's doing and proceeds to reach underneath, filling a silver chalice and walking straight over to present Pandora a drink. She begins to sip on it as she sits forward, watching Elysium. She spies the three members of the coterie, and as she looks at them, she beckons them over with an exaggerated hand gesture, something to make sure that everyone in all of Elysium would notice if they weren't even paying attention.
Well, I think someone's trying to make a show of it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
this should be interesting.
Game faces on, lads. No, stand up and head
I was,
over.
I was at my game face and I follow him.
Silas would crack a smile, stand, and follow over.
She stands and greets you and beckons you all to take a seat.
That's it. You know, there's only two ways that you get to order me around. One is if you're the inner council, and the other is if you're exceedingly lovely. So, well done, Pandora. What can we do for you this evening?
Flattery will get you everywhere, Caleb.
I walk up, get a fucking room, you two.
We've had one in the past, but it's much more fun to show off in Elysium, is it not?
Thought Cedra was your fucking thing.
At some point, most people are worthy of my attention. And she looks you up and down with her eyes, Xavier. Most people.
It was
Sit. Xavier, I've noticed you don't have a drink. Would you care for one?
yeah, for what you're about to put me through, yeah.
She sits back, looks at the bar, and just puts up one finger. The barman hurries over and roughly places a tumbler in front of you, filled with vitae. Each of you that took a drink may slake a hunger, apart from Silas. So, Pandora, no, that's what happens when I read my own fucking notes. Cedra is currently preoccupied likely mourning the loss of her mortal plaything, as she has been seen cleaning the flat out. Caleb, our mutual friends have taken your list under advisement and decided to give you some of the items that you have requested. You will find it in a supply cache. It's being guarded by a kindred. However, tonight we lost contact with him. While you collect your equipment there, we would greatly appreciate it if you could investigate the status of the guard and ensure his safety. You'll find the cache in Godstow, on Godstow Road. A terraced house near the small church. Armand and yourself will be able to find the house. It will respond to that which flows in your veins. You'll know where.
Well,
Xavier. Tonight is the night we wish you to do what you do best.
Piss you off?
Apart from that, you'll find the weapon we have granted you waiting for you outside the holding itself. Be warned, though. The Second Inquisition are known to experiment on our kind, looking for weaknesses. You will certainly face strange and unique foes tonight.
Are they Lupod?
Even the Second Inquisition wouldn't mess with that. You will find strictly
I'm not fucking worried
mortals.
about it.
I appreciate your enthusiasm and your confidence. It almost makes you attractive.
Yeah. I never thought I'd live to see the day that Camarilla knowingly armed an anarch.
The Camarilla is
This town is
not.
fun.
The Camarilla is not against arming tools or making full use of them.
You hear that, Xavier? You're a tool now.
I
And
look
what
at
makes you
Caleb.
think you're any different, Caleb?
She's got a point. You
Wow.
run around doing the bidding for the tower.
That's a conflation of interests.
Uh-huh. Free will and all.
Do you have any questions? Good.
Yes.
Yes, Xavier.
If I break,
Inquisitive
if we
one.
break this weapon, are you gonna be mad?
I would be impressed if you managed it. The weapon is more
I'm not
likely
saying
to break
us.
you.
I'm just saying if it gets broken.
You'll find that the weapon will find no greater honor than dying in battle against some of our greatest foes.
Point.
Worry for
Point front
yourself.
towards enemy. Got it.
Anything else?
Unfortunately, I know that we're already getting way over our heads, so no, I don't think I have anything to add.
Good, then fuck off, you clash with my table.
I don't even stop to wait for you guys to say anything. I take my empty glass, I shove my chair in, and I go wait at the bar.
Caleb looks down at the. He's got the usual jeans and the fingerless gloves on. His t-shirts and jacket combos usually vary, and this evening he is wearing a Judas Priest t-shirt and a crushed
That's
velvet
a-
jacket. Go ahead.
Jesus Preacher t-shirt.
Both guns usually visible. I'm going to assume Pandora reimbursed him for the gun that I threw casually away last time. And yeah, he looks down and he's like, "Oh, well, I suppose red velvet doesn't go with whatever this couch is. You have a point. I'm off. And he stands up and leaves.
Xavier?
I get up and walk away. I just. I guess I walk towards wherever the fuck she said that weapon was.
You don't want to pick up your supplies first?
I don't know
Silas?
which one's closer. I don't know this building very well. I just know we walked down to a basement.
Silas would grab any supplies for himself and he'd stand.
Silas, before you go, 2 things.
Yes, Pandora.
3 things. Make sure they plan. Make sure they actually pick up the supplies before they try and assault the Inquisition. And third of all, tuck in their chairs, would you please, darling?
I tucked mine in.
Silas would stand, he'd tuck in his chair, and if there's any others that are not pushed in, he'd go ahead and push those in. He'd give her a nod, he'd be like, and he would tell her, all right, supplies and planning. Got it.
Good boy. Now fuck off.
Silas would depart.
So you're all standing at the bar, I assume?
Yeah.
So, Caleb, Amon, is Xavier here?
Mhm.
I think so. Xavier, first we need to pick up our supplies and we need to make plans for what we're about to do.
Tell me about it. This
If
is not gonna
you-
be a fun night.
Well, I mean, that depends on your approach, Amon. Come on, cheer up. Look, what we're about to do, I did it maybe once a month for around 20 years when I was still human, let alone after the fact. So, that along with, I believe, Xavier, you have some experience in this area.
Infiltration?
Certainly running ops.
Yes.
I mean, looking at the skill set in front of us, we should be fine. Just it sounds bizarre, the advice I'm about to give you. Don't overestimate the Second Inquisition, but don't underestimate them either. The only thing I'm worried about is true faith. If we encounter it, we are in trouble.
Yeah.
Have any of you had any experience with it before?
Only slightly.
It mostly renders you damn near powerless. So remember what I said earlier on about perhaps leaning into your naturally developed skills as opposed to your gifts if such a thing were to occur.
Okay.
Understood.
Beyond that, we should be reluctant to engage with anyone who exhibits such an attribute. Hopefully, we won't encounter anyone like that at all. It is rare.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of my biggest failures came from encountering said phenomenon, and I am loath to repeat it. Xavier, any recommendations?
Well, yeah. fuck is this weapon that she's given? Because if we don't know all of the information and what we're going to be utilizing here, kind of just could plan to go on a date and then not take a shower. It's going to go for real fucking well.
I think I see what you're getting at, and I couldn't agree more. We should probably go check out these weapons and supplies and then formulate a plan. Agreed?
I'll say this much. There's 2 ways in. Depending on all this, we can decide which way to go, and we'll start from there.
I second. Once we know what we're working with, that's how we can plan our plan.
Alrighty, well, requisition time.
Heading out of Elysium
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
into
To the
Armand's
supplies.
vehicle. Are you feeling a bit frisky tonight?
There's a few enough people. I think we could maybe take the Jag.
Yeah, alright. I'll take Caleb's car.
It's going to go well for you. The 4 coterie members head out into the night, all of them having their weapons handed back to them, apart from Caleb, one of the very, very few kindred allowed to keep them in Elysium, and Silas, who carries no weapons.
Had to get
Nothing
a
but that.
CCTW for these bad boys.
Registered weapons, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They head to Caleb's Jaguar, each taking a seat, probably with Armand keeping his knees underneath his masked face, and head out onto the road towards Godstow. Is there anything you wish to discuss on your way?
You know, I like Cedra. It's real fucking convenient, though. She's not here tonight.
I believe. I believe her personal attachments got in the way of business.
Uh-huh. Oh, no.
No.
I'm well aware. And after what we've been through with all the other stuff,
She's in no condition to be slaughtering a bunch of kind this evening. No.
that's exactly the kind of condition she would want to be in.
It takes its toll. And most of the Second Inquisition that I've ever had the misfortune to encounter are misguided souls at best. You can't help but feel sorry for them.
You hear Amon chuckle when you say that.
I did mean you, yes.
I know you.
Pre, any kind of teeth like that in there.
Yeah. Honestly,
You-
thought, ironically enough, even though the 2 groups are intertwined with each other because of their nature, I was kind of hoping that after being changed, I wouldn't have to ever really directly worry about the SI anymore. I was hoping to leave that part of my life behind, but life's funny or unlife is funny sometimes.
I can understand. I mean, the things I do in my role to keep Kindred safe. I suspect there are higher-ranking members of the SI who have a resume very similar to my own. Probably yours too, Xavier, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I understand duty and I understand the need to protect, but they will burn the village down to get their target, so to speak.
You know, when you say that they're very similar people in the SI, you're not wrong. The My life didn't change much after I got in praise. I just took orders from different people.
You remember the evening we visited that fancy restaurant? And I had a bit of a lapse of judgment, shall we say.
Oh, what was that place called? Was it called the Isaac something? Wasn't it named after Isaac?
It was an evening in his honor, if I'm not mistaken.
Club 30s.
Club 30s. I knew it was an era. Just couldn't remember.
There's a reason I took falling to my bane so... well, not so well. Are you aware of... as a high-ranking member of the Second Inquisition by the name of Captain Ishak Khan?
Do I, Civ?
No.
No.
And anyone who
Okay,
shouts out, Khan, I'm going to kill.
I didn't even think about that. Should have, didn't.
It was 2011, and I was given orders from the Inner Council to target Captain Khan for elimination. It's rare they put Kine on the red list, but on he went. And for the very first time in my afterlife, I encountered true faith. The man is a zealot, and he's dangerous. And I failed. A year later, he led the sacking of London.
Well, at least now I know who you think.
If I had been able to pull the trigger, London still might be our domain. So, you understand when I say you do not take true faith lightly, and not to take the SI lightly. But at the same time, I do believe we've got the element of surprise here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go see what they've cooked up for us.
What were you going to say, Silas?
That certainly is a heavy burden to bear, and I've never heard of a mortal or kind being put on the red list. This Khan fellow must be quite a monster, if you will, for him to make it onto that list.
No, he's the opposite. He's as devout as they come. Sikh, I believe. And
well, suppose that's a matter of perspective.
Certainly.
Just because the thing that they follow is supposed to be devout and good does not mean that it does not turn men into monsters.
Oh, believe me, I've been in enough rooms with vampires that are around during the Crusades to hear this speech. I understand. But, no, from what I understand, we slaughtered his family. That was the brief I was given. I can't blame the man for hating every single one of us.
That's fair.
The car journey carries on, with Caleb augmenting his chat about Khan. Eventually, they pull up along Godstow Road. The entire road is eerily quiet. There's only the car to be seen. The street lights are working, but every house has its lights extinguished, and not a soul is walking around nor heard in their house. Caleb pulls the car up cautiously onto the pavement.
So it's here somewhere. Supply drop?
Caleb,
Yes.
remember the person guarding us went missing?
Sure. Who's the best at tracking here?
Tracking?
We don't really
Um,
track.
Yeah.
Humans are messy. They leave stuff around. So do kindred.
Hmm.
If kindred really wanted to hide something, they could. Can anybody see that? I have no idea. The doctor could.
Can I look for cameras?
Wits and awareness for me, please, darling.
Cedra remembered.
Armon takes in the surroundings, specifically looking for cameras or other security devices to monitor activity. He finds none, but as he stares over the road, one house in particular seems to ring his vitae inside of his veins.
I point at it out through the window of the car and I just say, there's something up with that house over there. I'm not quite sure what it is.
Yes, your blood was supposed to sing, wasn't it? Well, I suppose we better go check it out.
And
Kind of
just so
opens
you're
the
all
car door.
Just so you're all in the know, whenever Caleb looks at this house, he feels the same effect within his vitae as well.
Cool. Oh, it's that Christmas morning feeling, isn't it? You don't know what's under the tree.
Yeah, I haven't felt that for over a decade.
Yeah, good point. Well, let's go open our presents. I'm going to head to the trunk of the Jag and make sure I sling the AK over my back for this one.
Okie dokie.
As I get out of the car, I'm tightening the straps on all my forearm gear.
Yeah, you do that. That'll keep up with that AK.
Just getting prepared.
And head over to the house.
I'll adjust the cuffs on my jacket. And look over at Amon.
Xavier ties his shoes.
I was obviously distracted. What's happening?
Shall we?
Yeah.
Let's.
Who's going to open the door?
Caleb will. Pistol first. AK's on a strap on his back for reference. Yeah, just one pistol drawn. Kind of creeping through.
The door
I activate
opens
silence.
silently. That's free. The door opens silently into a clean and seemingly typical urban hallway. Black and white checkered floor seems to show muddy footprints going in. As the coterie enter further into the house, they see a stack of military-grade containers and the head of someone just sticking out above the top, when suddenly several armed men walk out in front of them.
Oh.
Are they walking with hostile intent?
They are walking with hostile and malicious intent.
Hey,
Cool,
Caleb,
cool,
is this what
cool.
you ordered?
No, I think they got my order wrong. Fire away, lads. How many are we looking at?
4.
4. Can I tell if they're kindred or kind from here?
Nope.
It doesn't really matter. I'm going to shoot the first one.
Okay.
You said real quick. You said that they were armed, right?
Yes.
Are they armed in a similar way to the deltas we've encountered before, or are they just slightly armed?
Nowhere near as heavily armored. They're not even wearing any armor, face masks, or anything like that.
Cool.
So, Caleb, taking a shot.
Mhm.
Resolve firearms.
Boom.
And all the guard can do is try and dodge. Excellent. And with the pistol, was it?
Yeah. It's AK still on my back. That's fine.
Pistol plus
I
2?
think 2.
Pistols 2, AKs 3.
Yeah, pistols 2. So that's 3. Caleb takes very careful aim in a matter of a split second, firing off several rounds into the guard, each one impacting upon the body, letting blood splatter around the room. Spatter around the room. Who's next?
I think Silas would rush in and charge into melee range with one of the guys and try to punch him if he can.
I think you're close enough to do a charge. It's not like they're, because it's only you get. That's fine. So,
Okay.
strength, brawl. And the guard is going to try and shoot you with his pistol as you come forward and hit him, which is going to be a compose and firearms.
Okay.
And just unarmed
Alright.
damage for you is
bonus, well, right? It's going to be if he's mortal, it'll be ag. If he's supernatural, then it's just regular.
Ooh, I think this is the first time seeing brutal body.
Lethal body.
That's lethal body, sorry. Yeah.
Silas confidently walks up to the second guard as the guard shakily brings his gun to bear on Silas, attempting to fire off several rounds. Okay, let's get it. Now I've lost my place. Silas, clenching his fist and his teeth together, willed a vitae into his knuckles and punched the guard several times in his shoulder, head, unfortunately only impacting the one time, tracking the guard's shoulder and making him drop his gun. Who's next?
I'll take one of the guys that isn't otherwise occupied. I know that there's 2 left. I'll just take the closest one. And swing. I deploy my blade out and I just take a swipe.
Strength, melee. And the guard is going to try and shoot you, which is going to be firearms and composure.
There you go, Mon. Those are some good numbers to start out with.
And that's plus 3 damage for your swords?
Yes.
Armon, without saying a word, strides up to the remaining guard, deploying his blade, and attempts to swipe, slash, and otherwise do a veritable melee of damage. The guard attempts to keep his nerve as he takes aim, missing through the whirlwind of blades being laid upon his body. Armon successfully lands several blows on the guard's body, doing a significant amount of damage to him.
All right, Xavier, you can go punchy punch now.
Are they dead? Are any of them dead yet, or no?
Yep.
Okay. Are they all being engaged in?
There's one remaining.
I'll go up and punch that guy.
Okay. Strength, brawl. And that guy is going to attempt to try and shoot you, which is firearms and composure. Damn. So just regular damage from Xavier?
Yeah, I don't have lethal.
Okay. Xavier cracks his neck, and seeing that every other guard is engaged, thinks to himself, time to tango. Moves forward and punches the guard several times as the guard attempts to steal his nerves, trying to fire off at Xavier. But Xavier moves too quickly and lands several very damaging hits upon the guard. Fire. I believe all the guards actually try to fire on you,
Oh, yeah.
so they don't get a turn. Which brings us straight back to Caleb.
Guy I fired at, as he said he's not down, but he's looking rough or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just continue shooting to finish him off, I guess.
Okay. Resolve. Firearms. And he's just going to try and fire back at you.
Hey!
Caleb takes careful, steady aim at the guard, firing several rounds into him. As he does so, he feels the beast calling within his ear, surging forth, and he's unable to keep it down. After he shoots the guard several times in the face, specifically his eyeballs, in order to pierce the brain and shatter the remainder of the human, that falls to the ground dead. The beast still remains screaming in Caleb, calling forth to him, telling him he has to do more harm. Caleb performs all actions, not immediately resulting in someone or something getting harmed, at a 2 dice penalty to his pool. This will end when he incapacitates, destroys, or drives away another target. You are suffering from the harm compulsion.
Okay.
Silas.
Silas will keep engaging in the guy he's fighting, just trading blows, punching. Well, I guess he's
Strength.
shooting at me. But...
Strength, brawl. And this guy lost his gun. The only thing he can really do is dodge.
You as well, both of them.
Silas clenches his fists once more and going in for the kill, desperately trying to make this guard realize just how much trouble he's in, landing severely crippling blows upon the already reeling guard, who's cradling the injured shoulder from when he was broken and dropped his gun. As Silas lands these blows upon his victim, the beast inside of him comes forth to the fray. It screams at him that he is La Sombra, and clearly superior to the rest of them. As the beast screams at him, Silas is unable to use teamwork, and performs any action that avoids establishing dominance or challenging authority at a 2 dice penalty. This will end when he has won and gloated over it. You are suffering from the dominance compulsion.
Typical La Sombra.
Armon.
Would I have been able to notice that Caleb kind of really took it to that guy?
Oh, yeah.
In a bestial way?
Yeah.
Then, since I'm in melee range with this guy already, can I kind of grab his like the front of his shirt and just shove him towards Caleb?
Do dexterity and brawl for me.
Okay.
And this guy,
there it
having
is.
no clue what's going to go on, is going to try and punch you in the face with the butt of his rifle.
Just asking. This doesn't count as like a grapple or anything, right?
No, otherwise I would have made you roll to grapple. But you're not really grappling him. You're kind of grappling,
Right.
But you're
Right.
chucking him away. So that's why I'm saying
I have the
dexterity and
bourgeois
brawl.
grappling. Yeah, I have the bourgeois grappling specialty, so I was just asking.
Jeez.
Nice.
So let's call that 3 superficial damage to Armon.
Okay.
Armon attempts to go in, grabbing the guard by his collar to throw him and feed him to Caleb. Unfortunately, the guard moves too fast as Armon's guard is let down, and he seems to be on the receiving end, in the face, to the butt of a rifle, taking a rather hefty hit to his jaw. Xavier.
I'm just gonna punch this guy again.
Strength and brawl, please. This guy's just going to try and
Don't-
shoot you.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Oh my god.
I don't think there's any point in him even rolling.
Oh
That's
my
hilarious.
god.
Xavier clasps his fists together and then brings them cracking down upon the guard's ribcage in a very heavy, hefty haymaker that makes contact. The sound of bones cracking and blood regurgitating in the guard's throat reverberates around the entire room as the guard falls down dead into a pile of blood leaking from many orifices. And again, all the guards got a little bit feisty, tried to hit, so we go back to Caleb.
I'm gonna whip around and try and the guy that just hit him on, just slide up behind him and go for the bite. Try and drain him dry.
You're going to have to grapple him first.
Yeah, that's fine. Cool.
Strength. Brawl, please. And this guy's going to try and dodge it.
Yeah.
That's fine, that's going to go to Caleb.
Nice.
Caleb, possessed by his bestial urges, doesn't so much as sneak around the guard, but stomps behind him. The guard was distracted by Armand's blades. Caleb grabs him and restrains him, exposing various bits of flesh to Caleb and his fangs. Silas.
Is the guy I'm fighting still alive?
Yes.
I want to do a cold shot to his knee. I want him on his knees. So
How are you doing
cold
a cold-
shot? What?
What are you
it's-
doing to put him on his knees?
Oh, it'll be brawl. I'll probably be like kicking him or something like that.
Okay, strength, brawl.
Yeah, and that'll be a difficulty increase.
It's
difficulty,
reversed,
right? Do I have
so-
minus dice?
It's reversed, basically.
Okay.
So the difficulty is 5 or less. So you got 1, 2.
Okay.
You got 2 successes. The guard, he's going to try and dodge because he's in a pretty bad shape and he probably wouldn't be able to put up much of a fight.
Oh, yes.
Silas, feeling the call of the beast in his skull ringing around, steps back and takes an incredibly hefty hit upon the mortal, kicking him within his knees and making the mortal crouch down in front of him and kneel before him as if he was some sort of alien supervillain.
Yeah. Get on your knees, insect.
Armon.
There's only the two guys left, right?
Yep. And the guy that you were
Um,
fighting is currently being grappled by Caleb.
I'm just gonna look at the guy that Caleb's got in his arms and kind of just shrug at him. Like, oh, well.
I
I'm not
thought
gonna
you'd
do anything.
appreciate that, fast cat. Yep, you don't want to... if you want, you can just heal.
That's true. I do want to do that. I always
Do a rouse check
thank
for
you
me,
for
please.
reminding me. I do want to heal. Yep. They really need to put a rouse button at the top of the sheet.
Okay, a success. Your blood potency 1.
2.
So you may heal 2 points of superficial.
Yep. I'm almost back up to full.
My badass Bruges Xavier, what are you going to do, honey?
There's 2 up still.
One's being grappled. The other one is
Yeah.
on his knees in front of Silas.
I will hit the one that's being grappled. Actually, I will look at Ahmad, who I assume is grappling.
No, it's Caleb.
No, it's me.
Caleb's grappling him.
You give me a look like you're going to try to feed on him?
I am going to try and feed on him, yeah.
All right. I just, I'll wait, because I'm just going to search him at this point. All our weapons and stuff.
Okay. Do you need to heal or anything?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm Xavier. I don't need to heal.
These guards can't do
mean-
fuck all.
That's why you play DPS. The more DPS you do, the less you have to get healed.
So,
Yeah, but I have to roll well.
that'll be the end of combat at this point. And I think it's pretty easy to say that this is definitely going to go to you. Caleb, you want to bite and feed on your guard?
Yeah, I'm going to drain him fully, kill him. Sorry.
Okay. Do you have your predator roll in your sheet?
Somewhere. Sandman.
Oh, just do strength and brawl for me then, please.
Yeah, no worries.
Bring me a dream.
Can someone give Armon his ADHD meds, please? Would you like to re-roll anything?
Yeah, go on.
Burn a willpower point, and then underneath the willpower bar is a button that says WP reroll. You may reroll up to 3.
Yeah.
That's more like it.
Yeah, okay.
Caleb, in a complete rage as the beast calls to him, extends both his upper and lower canines, lets out a growl, and sinks his fangs deep into the guard's flesh, not caring about any of his life, and simply drains him of all his vitae. You may slate 2 hunger, but you also take a humanity stain.
Mm-hmm.
Your harm compulsion is over. And that was the guard that I'm on. Yeah, so that's fine. Silas.
I'm excited for this.
While
Oh, by the
he's
way,
down on
Caleb,
his-
you may reduce, if it gives you enough, you may go to hunger 0.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Cool. Silas.
While he's down on his knees, I think I'm going to tell him to beg. Depending on if he begs or not, it's not going to be good enough. I'm going to call him, "You're pathetic," and then I think I'm going to try to push him down and then just stomp on him to kill him. Like curb stomp.
I like Silas.
No matter what you do, you're going to kill him. So, Silas brings his foot to bear and crushes the pathetic worm's skull beneath it, turning the floor into a bloody splat of bone, sinew, and pieces of brain.
The insect thought he could beg for my mercy.
You know, we once had somebody that hung with our coterie that got cocky when she did something goofy too. Don't play with your fucking food. You're wasting time.
That's not food. It's not good enough to be food.
Whatever.
Let's go.
This is where we have to get a bit tricksy as I change the overlay and say to fast cart now. Oh yeah, I should probably...
Trixie Hobbitses.
Oh, well, that worked out nicely. That blue screen of death actually saved the overlay.
Nice.
The coterie draw their attention to the supply cache and the person restrained in a chair by metal chains and various leather straps to a chair.
The approach, like, are they awake, as knocked out, or what? Like, person in a chair?
They will be conscious, awake.
Okay.
Can I do sense the beast on him? Them?
Show me Sense the Beast, please. Armon.
And while it
Resolve.
does, oh,
Hang on. Armon. Resolve. Animalism. New person. Composure. Subterfuge.
Oh god. I might. Yeah, I can reroll 3 of those. I might do that. I say might. I am doing that. Thanks, game. Oh, that's fine.
Armon wills a vitae to his eyes, runs them up and down over the restrained person who's got a terrible background, you arsehole, and can see the ever familiar sight of a kindred beast deep within him.
you are you tied up there of your own free will? Is this something we should be interfering in, or do you want to be left alone? Muscles.
Try that again.
The gestures to you, Xavier. You want to?
Type at?
I walk over and I'm like, muscles?
Well, I mean, sorry, I'm on the job, and it's easier just to refer to everyone by their function.
What do you want me to do?
Break him out. I'm going to go check over the stuff.
How's he tied up?
Chains, leather straps, all the fun stuff.
I take out my knife and cut the leather straps.
Yep, that's free.
How tight are the chains?
I mean,
Because if chains are tight and then you go to break them and you make the rest of the coil compress because you're trying to give room, I don't want to crush him.
tight enough to restrain him, but not tight enough to cause any aggravated damage or anything like that should you break them.
I break the chains then.
Strength and strength
All
for
right,
me,
try.
please.
Try.
Yeah, as he right before he hesitates and to grab him and break him, I just go, "He's one of us. If you're worried about him seeing anything."
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
What?
Got all those dice, and really that.
All right, I'm gonna re-roll 3 of them. Like,
Lovely.
oh my god, a 2.
Step
like
aside,
successive
Xavier.
Hang on, would you like successive
Oh.
cost, Xavier? Because
No.
otherwise he's going to succumb to the beast.
Traven
Oh, you know what?
gave
Yes.
you a reroll.
Yeah, if it's because the cost.
Oh,
will
you've
probably
got
be
a...
longer.
Traven has been good enough to give you a
Traven.
free reroll.
Oh, nice.
Oh, do I re-roll everything?
Use your first roll. Use the reroll
Yeah,
button
and reroll?
underneath that.
Yeah.
There we go.
You still got the beast. I mean, you
Okay, if I
succeeded.
succeeded, I don't get the beat.
Yeah, I know,
Xavier
but you still got that
Bends
one.
over, grabs the chains,
Tight.
and wills the vitae around his arms and muscles, easily breaking the chain and freeing the captive kindred.
Thank you, Traven.
Thank you so much appreciated.
Thank you, Traven. Oh,
Also, fast car, you sound a bit robotic.
There we go. Xanders.
yeah.
There you go. Hopefully.
Okay. Hello, my name is Federico Xanders.
I'm sorry, what's your name?
Federico Xanders.
Okay.
So, you're Fred now.
No, that's Fred. F-E-D.
Federico, okay.
If you-
And
Fred,
behind,
not Fred.
Is he going with us? I'll look at Caleb.
I'm assuming he's the guard, and I'm like rooting through the stuff. Like I've opened the crates. Like what's?
Caleb, as
Yeah,
he
I was
looks
supposed
through
to
the
be guarding
cache,
that.
Caleb, as he looks through the cache, finds 2 silenced SMGs. A note reminding him that Blush of Life can fool most sensor checks. Ski masks. A small vial of liquid marked Pure Astrolite, combustible. And in a stack with a note on top that merely reads, "No idea why this was requested, but it was easy to create our fake IDs identifying them as activists for Friends of Abominations Worldwide, and a stack of flyers for Friends of Abominations Worldwide to scatter at the site."
I see they mostly went along with my plan. Right, Xavier, this is for you, and he hands you one of the SMGs.
That's what I was guarding. So not worth it.
So we blow the place up, and then I hold up the flyers, and we blame it on activists. Once we've gotten what we came for. I know, don't say it. I'm a genius. My ego can only take so much this evening.
I just take one of the flyers and I go, Friends of Abominations.
Hey, Caleb.
Yes.
These are going to be really violent activists.
Well, I mean, a lot of activists are.
Like rip the body in half violent?
Yeah.
Okay, good plan.
I love Caleb.
Huh.
Oh, but by the way, is my weapon still around? Did they disarm me or you find it?
I mean, you
I'm
were
sure.
disarmed, but it's been put on the side.
Okay, I'll go pick it up.
That definitely wasn't on my list. They left out the cream cheese I asked for. Never mind. I believe you have the intelligence, the rest of the intelligence, Xavier, regarding the site.
Is there a table around?
Oh, yeah. Probably
I pull
covered in
out
bits
the,
of brain at this point, though.
I just slide it off the table. I pull out the piece of paper I got from Mr. Ron with the blueprints.
The blueprints, I assume that everyone is looking, will show that the church has a normal floor, a church floor, but then it disappears off on one of the blueprints to a staircase leading down. There is also a secondary entrance that leads down, but none of the things marked down in the basement are marked on these blueprints.
I actually wouldn't have gone over with them to look at the blueprints. Was the only crate in here the one that Caleb looked through already, or are there other okay, so I go over to the crate after Caleb hands out everything, and I'm just like pulling out whatever padding or whatever it was in the crate. And I'm like, you and your people with your guns, don't you have anything quieter? And I'm just doing that until somebody drags me over to the blueprint.
Says the guy that can't walk quiet.
Yeah, but at least I don't make a giant bang every time I hit somebody.
I look at the dead guy on the floor.
Right, that's why
What
they're.
do you want
And I,
from me?
yeah, I pointed that silencer on the end of the SMG. I mean, it's.
I giggle.
So
This
civilized.
really doesn't do what you think it does, but sure, it'll help.
What the name's on the tin side? I'm not going to have this argument with you again. What? How are we doing this? How are we getting in?
All right, so first things first here. Can any of you all see shit that most of us can't see?
I can see
Whatever
that.
that power. I don't give a fuck about that. All right, so we probably want to avoid anything where they've possibly hidden symbols or some shit, whatever.
I can see Shiver writing down the extra XP point for that.
So we can enter through here, go through the main church, probably an entrance somewhere in a room down there. Or we can go to the side over here, go under the main building, and go work our way up.
Underneath enough
Well-
might be the quieter way to go. Quiet in, loud out may be the approach we want to take here. You, my friend, he points at Federico. He's like, you were supposed to look after the stuff. You did a bang-up job. Are you now available for some violence?
Oh, yes, I definitely want to pay these guys back.
Well, just in case anyone gives you any trouble, we know how matriarchs and patriarchs can get sires and whatnot. I don't know if you're supposed to come with us, but if you aren't, just tell them Daddy Caleb said it's okay. And he points to the red moon blood mark on his hand. Their
He
orders were
looks at the hand
superseded.
and nods.
You're with us.
Very well.
I look
No.
over Ramon and I'm like,
What are your names, by the way?
don't worry about it.
Well, he's Muscles, and he's Stabby, and he's Captain Charisma. And I'm Caleb. Hello.
I just
just
point
call
at
him
Silas and go,
Captain
he gets a rank?
Well, I mean, it's a rank for effort. You know, like they give out participation badges in the Boy Scouts, that sort of thing. Don't tell him. You hurt his feelings.
But yeah, I kind of go and start looking over the blueprints, and I go, I do agree with Caleb here that we shouldn't go straight in through the front. Blush of Life will be able to get us past any probably exterior sensors that they have, but they're going to have the front door with the most protected with stuff that more than probably heat sensors.
I'm aware of the skill set mostly here. What about you, Mr. Federico?
I'm good with the sword, and I can be silent.
I mean, that's tick and tick. Welcome to the team. Do we delay or do we go get this weapon now?
That'd be something I can use.
So just to recap, the plan is to go in from underneath, sneak inside, take the weapon.
No, I
And-
believe we're getting the weapon before we go here. We're
And it's
sneaking
waiting
Ah.
in
for
here.
you
We're
at
being
the
a little bit
location.
premature, but knowing a little bit in the sense of who they're attached to, she'll much prefer going in secretly too. Maybe.
Okay. Well, I think we're doing everybody a favor by blowing the whole place to ground on our way out. Obviously, some of my requests were denied, but we can look around inside to see if an opportunity presents itself.
I can imagine they probably have a good deal of firepower in here. Literally.
Agreed. We best use it against them.
Mhm.
So, quiet in, loud out.
I mean, we could
Is that
do we could do quiet out too. I mean, we really don't have to announce that we're there. We just need to be okay with being loud out.
I always bank on the worst case scenario. In my experience, that's what happens.
I mean, I do too. I hang around with them on.
I agree. The longer we can stay dark, the better.
ST's not supposed to agree.
Look, it's Roll20's fault, not mine.
Alright, well, we know where this weapon is before we walk into the gauntlet, so to speak.
If you look at the blueprint, do you have a clue what may be held?
If you need a reminder, the weapon is waiting for you outside the location.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully I said that earlier and it's not just me that's forgotten I told you that.
But I wasn't here, so.
I know.
Yeah, it's out. She's outside. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go meet our walking weapon.
Oh, it's not. Oh.
Heading
You
out?
guys get all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
And into Caleb's car?
Yeah, I'd sling the AK in the back. I have the SMG now, so.
Now I have a very important question. Who is sitting on whose lap?
Yeah, you know, when we
That's the other
arrived
game.
here in
But
Caleb's
that would
car,
be hydro.
The back seat of a Jag Mark II is a bench seat, so probably not
Oh, okay.
necessary.
Okay.
Like, it will be a squeeze, but I don't think you'd need to.
I like the reference you made there, Tina, by the way. I noticed. Anything you wish to discuss on your journey?
also,
Oh, go ahead.
just real quick, just as a RP thing, all the comments that Xavier's been making about Amon, he would have hopped in the passenger seat, so he would have been, so Xavier would have been forced to sit in the back with, all squeezed up with two other people, because I know he doesn't
Oh,
like
I
people.
figured I was in the back last time.
Oh. Carry on. What were you saying, Silas?
We might witness an
Well-
actual murder of children on the stream soon.
It's nice that this back seat is a bench and all, but it's quite tight and uncomfortable. I think my suit's getting wrinkled.
I'm
I
sorry,
would
I'm
appreciate
sorry.
it if we
I will
switched
not hear.
vehicles.
I will not hear another word about my car. This is a. It's a. Do you even appreciate? I'm not. You've
What?
angered me, Silas. You've angered me. No.
I'm used to
This
I'm used to being
Jaguar
in the back.
is fantastic. It's a beautiful car. There's just too many people in it. It's not the car's problem. It's the people's problem. And Silas just pointing at either side of him.
To your point, Silas, there were enough fucking people in this before we came. And I look over at Frederico.
So, just a suggestion. We might want to swing by and get Amon's van, SUV.
I
And
have an issue, dude. We have enough.
because we fit right now. If we get any more hitchhikers, someone's going in the trunk if this thing has a trunk.
Well, I mean, under those circumstances, I'd vote you. So we should probably go get the van.
I look at Silas. I can take you, and I give you a wink.
So the coterie head to Armand's Haven, swap vehicles, and make their way towards Abingdon, towards the SI holding. Anything we should discuss on this journey? Okay. The coterie park up a slight way away from the church and the SI holding itself, so as not to arouse suspicion. They already notice a figure standing on the opposite side of the road from the church. The figure is leaning against a tall, old stone wall, where most people would feel uncomfortable due to the sharp edges of stone jutting out from the wall.
Now that it's a new scene, can I heal?
Yes.
Thank you.
Can I check the cameras?
Yes. I'll let you have that for free. There are no cameras. Amon, heal 2, gain a hunger.
I'm at full again.
Their cameras are themselves.
No, yeah, that's probably an automatic answer.
So would you like to stay in the car and thumb your ringholes, or would you like to do something?
I was waiting for Nitro to finish talking.
Right?
I get out and look around for a lady because I was given the name.
And at that point, we'll take a break. We'll be right back in
I'll be
about...
back.
Hate you, Silas. 15, 20 minutes.
Me?
So thank you guys for the invitation, and pretty much that's what I do. I have a Twitter, a YouTube, a Steam account, all of the above. So nice to be here and glad to meet you all.
We're very pleased to have you here. Your details are in the chat. If anyone wants to give a follow over on Twitch or Twitter, please give a look. And we'd like to say that this is 3 months before her and Fastcart get married. If Fastcart works it slowly, you know.
I play a little bit harder to get than that.
So
3
do I.
months. 3 months. Xavier and Caleb have exited the vehicle, heading outside the church, looking for the weapon that they've been promised. They head out onto the night, and the figure stands there staring at them. What do you do?
I walk up.
I turn around and I see this gentleman walking towards me. I've been given the description, so I kind of know who he is, although I haven't personally met him before. So my response is going to be, well, well, well. Nice of you to join me.
Catherine,
Yes.
I turn to Caleb. Yep.
Just oh,
How tall are
that
you?
How tall am I?
I'm asking
What's
you
the
out of
point
game.
of
Like,
that?
I'm asking you out of game. How tall is your character?
5'3".
Because I might use
Hey.
it as a comment later.
he looks down, looks her up and down. It's like, is that outfit tactical?
Absolutely. 1, I blend in with the dark. 2, if I have to slide across something, it slides rather well.
I'm out of character again. I imagine that you have blades and whatnot visible on your person.
Absolutely. I have the whip blade wrapped around my waist, easily to be taken off. It is in a sheath that all you have to do is pull with the right hand and it flips open.
I just look at the other two and I point at her and go, see? Someone who knows what they're doing.
You make Shabana look like a prude.
Well, I'm sure they wouldn't have just sent anyone. I'm sure your credentials are wonderful. I'll go get the others. I'm sure we can be nice for the meantime. I'll turn around and head back to the van, like bang on the window. Let's
Get
go.
out the van.
So while he goes, I'll be like, So Pandora tells me you're a fighter.
I have a relatively decent reputation for either extraction or killing. Either one or whichever. Also depends on my hunger level.
There's a famous warning label on mines they use in the military. Point towards enemy. I think we're going to use that here.
That might be a
You're-
wise decision.
Also, if you get hungry, there's a new guy in the party I really don't care about. You can go after him first.
I'm right here.
Really? Give me the description of this individual, because that may
I'm right
actually
here.
happen.
I point.
And we've come up behind.
Ah.
I assume you're pointing to silence.
Mhm.
All arrived at
Seeing
that point.
Xavier pointing at Federico, I just shake my head because I have a feeling I know what he's talking about.
Well, if anyone wants to be a willing victim, I don't mind, but you won't walk out of it.
I wouldn't say he's willing. He probably doesn't know. I just volunteered him. But hey, again, I don't know him. Don't care.
That's a good position to have.
Silas and Federico would walk up with Caleb. Is this the weapon?
Yeah. Catherine, Silas, Catherine.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Nice to meet you.
He's our little ball of charisma, can't you tell?
Absolutely. All he needs is that one little spark.
I say I'm Federico. That's Stabby, and that's Muscles.
Excellent. Nice to meet you as well.
See, we've got one that pays attention. So, we're doing. What are we doing again? I
So
forgot.
we're gonna go in through the
Operation.
we're gonna go in through the side down below and work our way up. Probably a little easier to stay silent.
This was I know this was said before break. We already looked around for cameras, right? And there was none.
You
Okay.
you did, yeah. So.
Okay.
Now tell me,
operation.
gentlemen, how do you plan on going in silent? What kind of skills are you going to use?
Oh well, me and him, and I'll point to Caleb. We actually quiet. The other two.
I can be quiet too.
Oh, okay. So 3 of us. The other 2, they'll kind of fall back if shit goes sideways. They can help. Amon can be quiet. He's just, nah. I won't.
It actually might be rather helpful to have someone who can disappear, wouldn't you say?
I look at Caleb. Can you disappear?
Yeah. That's...
Yes, to a certain extent. Yes, I can. Operation time. Game face. Ready.
Last mouse
Lemon
we
face.
knew could disappear.
Lion
so-
face. Lemon face. Lion face. Okay. Just a minute. He reaches inside his jacket. Okay. Operation time.
All right, Kate. Would we, Shiver? Cedra's not here. Would we have the brand with us?
No.
We haven't used that in a hot minute, have we?
No, I just figured if we were planning and knew Cedra wouldn't be here, that we would have gotten that. But I should have said that way before now. So, oh well.
You have to do quite a lot of work to get into Cedra's Haven. I've been doing that for
No.
years, and she won't
We
let me.
saw her last. We saw her last week. She could have just handed it off. I should have planned ahead. I've been busy. Caleb, do me a favor. If you're gonna do the disappearing thing, don't troll us with it.
I wouldn't dream of it, dear boy. Just, don't cling to the idea of being quiet, because I have a feeling whatever's inside might not afford us the luxury.
No, but if we can buy ourselves a little bit of time.
Well, are you asking for a distraction? I do have the ability to go in undetected. So then the question remains, are you wanting me to go in undetected
I think at the
and
very
set
least
up a
we
distraction?
could use you as a scout.
Or I can use you as cannon fodder. Either way works. But I don't mind going in as a scout.
If we wish to remain hidden, I'm quite adequate at staying hidden. I can't disappear, but I can get by.
Well,
As long as
if
there's
it is,
shadows.
as long as there's shadows. Well, if you'd like, I do not mind taking lead. Assuming you gentlemen are all good to follow suit.
What role?
Question, storyteller. I've got unseen passage. What's the extent of? I've got the wording of it here, but God knows.
You have to go somewhere so we can't see you to use it.
Oh, is it?
I think
No,
that's what-
as long as you don't make any loud noises, and it's only in an
Yeah.
aura around yourself.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, I
Don't
can
forget.
use that, I guess.
Don't forget, whatever we're doing, we should probably use Blush of Life before we do anything.
Why?
Yeah,
So they
silent-
only bring 2 people to kill us instead of 7?
Silas
Well,
would look
I
over at
mean-
him on. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Good point, Amon. I always forget about the trivial mortal things. If they have any sort of scanner tech or anything like that, we would need to hide. Blush of Life is smart.
Yeah, even if we're not going in through the front door, we should still take the most obvious precautions.
I mean, we know how this works. Do we need to put our hands in and do a little cheer before we do this?
Go right ahead.
Only if you want to.
Skirt if you need it.
Shiv, Blush of Life lasts for the rest of the game, right?
Bad idea. Everybody agreed. Yeah.
Okay,
that's-
I'm gonna go ahead and cast it now then.
Do a rouse check for me, please, Armand.
Rouse
Yeah, I'll do-
check.
I'll do
Gain
it
a
too.
hunger.
Figures.
Yeah, same.
Rouse check.
Bam.
Oh no, everybody's gonna gain hunger.
Same.
Xavier, gain a hunger.
I'm-
Silas, gain a hunger.
Oh
I'm at
no.
three.
Caleb, gain a hunger. Federico,
Let me
gain a
click on it.
You're fine.
Oh, whoop. I clicked it twice. My bad.
Quite
Hey, it's a
fine
good
on
thing I
both.
drained that guy before I came, isn't it?
Catherine? Would you care to Do a rouse check, please. At the bottom of your sheet, little button that says rouse check. Or rouse. Gain a hunger.
Rouse.
So you should be on hunger 2.
Yummy, yummy.
Yay.
How are you proceeding?
So, gentlemen, what's the plan?
Well, we've never been inside the building. We don't really have great reconnaissance. We don't know how many they have in the building or what weapon. We have faced off against at least 2 of their kinds, so we know what to expect in that sense. I guess
Well,
for
then it's
now... Go ahead.
I would say then somebody's got to go in. So I don't mind going in under obfuscate and scout.
We have no way to communicate with you. We can just go in. If we get to a point where we feel like we need to sneak in, we'll do it. It's good to know our option, but at least we
we're
have 2 of
stronger.
you.
We're stronger together than we are apart. You're correct, Xavier.
Well, yeah. So you've seen how that goes. Sometimes we have a habit of letting loose sometimes with our beast and trying to eat each other. It once every 2 weeks. We're going
That
3
actually
weeks.
sounds
without
like
it, so.
fun. But
No,
Yeah.
we know.
I
No,
guess
no,
now it's probably
No.
not.
we know how your kind works. No.
Aw, fine. Well, then who's going to be the big boy that stands at the front door and goes in first?
I start walking.
Well, yeah, so he's a rather big boy, isn't he?
I follow.
And so does Caleb.
I catch up to Xavier real quick and I go, I know I'm not the best of luck when it comes to this kind of stuff. This is kind of your operation, so I'll follow your lead.
Well, I'm going to follow
I'll-
right along behind.
I'll take a stop and actually look at Amon and be like, you do a lot more for our group than I think you realize and I give you credit for. Thank you for that. I look back at Catherine and Frederico. There might be a kindred in here. It's my sire. You don't touch it. It's mine. And I'll turn and walk.
Real quick, Shiv, that whole thing that me and Xavier argued about where Kalal had asked Cedra and I to look for something in here, what exactly was that again? Just to find information. I think it was just to find information out.
It wasn't anything specific.
Gotcha, okay.
Not worth stopping a game for.
Okay, I just wanted to keep that in mind when I went in here, but I didn't want to bring it up to Xavier.
How are you going in? Side entrance or straight in through the church?
Decided.
Hmm.
I will go up.
Side
As I walk
entrance.
up, I will look for cameras and guards.
All clear. You just simply see 2 wooden doors, kind of like an entrance to a beer cellar, shackled shut.
They're shackled shut, so they have the chain and lock on them?
Correct.
Hey, Amon,
Yeah.
pick this.
And I will attempt to pick the lock.
Dexterity, lastly. The lock clicks open under Armand's delicate touch, releasing the chain as he pulls it off and silently opens the 2 double doors that lead down into the church basement.
Silas would be following behind. He'd be hanging back, being stealthy.
Okay, so long hallway. Through the
No one's
doors.
gone in.
Shiver.
No one's gone into the
Yeah,
basement.
I'm going. Okay, I'm walking in. Sorry, I should have said that.
It leads down into the church basement. The entire area is covered in dust, and they can see the back wall has a stacked wooden shelf, which stands out from the rest of the surroundings as it's not covered in dust.
Catherine's going to be following in from behind, and as soon as they enter the main area, she'll probably scoot off to the side and start looking around a little, not staying far from the group though. However, we'll also be using a hand to grab onto the whip to make sure that it is secure so that she is aware that it is there.
Hannibal looked towards the shelf and I'm like, well, I've never seen a more obvious secret entrance in my life, have you?
Nope. Could be a trap, but yeah.
Yes, but also they're probably hiding it from kind, not us. They more than likely would love us to come in to kill us.
And the fact that it is so obvious means that there could also be a trap.
Yeah.
It's only a trap if you get caught, darling. I'm going to approach the shells and just check it out first before I touch anything. I'm looking for a mechanism. Yeah. Anything like that around the shelves.
Nothing.
And behind
You can't get a clear view behind the shelf as it obscures a fair bit of it, but the shelf itself is an innocuous object.
With my prior knowledge, can I look around for like standard issue SI, like this opens?
It's a church cellar. The only thing that's standing out is this bookshelf.
Okay.
The chair is made of wood. It's a maple kind of wood. 17 people have sat on the chair in the past.
Guys, I'm pretty sure we're in the wrong place.
God, we're
Right.
horrible.
I'm going to shift that shelf.
Absolutely. That's a free action. The shelf piles over and collapses beneath you. It reveals a cut-out doorway that can be opened with a numeric code that stands next to the doorway.
Does anybody have a vial of pure luck?
Come on.
I go up and I try. I try the code I know.
The other thing is,
Okay.
if you're going in with silence or stealth, you just kind of blew it.
Did I?
So
Who
you
moved the
might
shelf
wanna
around?
hurry. Well, you might want to hurry then.
I assume nothing happens, Shiv, when I
Nope,
try.
you
the
got the
old
correct code on your first try. The door clicks open and reveals a pathway that leads downwards.
code. Wow, the SI really don't know how to reset their passwords.
All their passwords is password.
Yeah.
I cap them on the
1,
back.
2, 3, 4.
Password is
No,
swordfish.
it's all zeros. It's all zeros. Just saying.
We need. I'll look at everybody. We need to be aware that they at least may know that somebody came through this door. They may not come look because if somebody has the code, they're supposed to know. But be aware they know access.
Agreed.
Good point.
Yeah, no kidding, Captain America. The sound would probably be heard for a while.
Call out if you see anything. We go.
Keep your heads on a swivel.
Did you say the shelf was shattered?
It just fell
Okay.
over. Broke up.
Before we pass through the door, everyone's going to go through before. Is there a sizable enough piece of broken wood to serve as a stake?
Absolutely.
I'm just going to swipe it and put it in my inside pocket.
Please keep
Without
track
anyone
of that, 'cause
seeing.
I'm going to forget.
Sure.
The revealed pathway before them leads downwards, along metal staircases and railings. There is little sound in the place, just a gush of air and wind. The coven of undead creatures carefully and quietly make their way along the silent metal carved out beneath the house of worship. A locked metal door eventually blocks their progress. The bulkhead doors laugh at them, seemingly, with yet another number panel next to it.
Same one but backwards?
I'm really afraid of getting the wrong code, so I'm not going to try that.
Shiver.
Xavier.
Can I look at the button and see if any of them are more worn off than the other ones because they're pressed and the other ones have never been pressed?
Yes.
This is a common tactic for at least trying to figure out what 4 numbers. We may not know what order, but
absolutely
4 or 5 numbers.
3 numbers.
Okay. Yep. All right. So yeah, then I'll call those out.
Do they correspond?
Begin to guess what order they go in, but
to be specific, there are 2 buttons that are slightly more worn than the others: the 6 and the 1.
And the code is 3 numbers?
Yes.
Okay.
Does the 6 and the 1 correspond with the code I've been using, or?
It corresponds to a code that you're familiar with, yes.
Okay, then I try that code.
Armon enters the number 616 into the number pad.
That's what I thought it was.
And the door...
That's what I thought it was too.
...clicks and hisses open. The coven of Gallad kindred step through the door. Are you all... I'm assuming, are you all stepping through the door at this point?
Yeah.
Yes.
Silently.
Not blindly. I would look in and make sure I'm not stepping into a fucking trap shipper.
Yeah.
I'm following behind.
See your greedy little
Umbra.
grubby hands. I'm gonna kill him.
Well, tough, I'm walking you in. Into the Second Inquisition holding. Finding a white laboratory, pristine in appearance. Along the walls are chairs of primates clamped in place around their necks and arms. The door behind them slams shut and appears to have no way of being opened. God, that's right. As the door shuts, a voice rings through the facility and the room.
Subjects 41, 42, and 43 detected. 2 unknown black bodies detected.
I miscounted, fuck off.
Okay.
A door on the other side of the lab opens. It seems the group have only one way to progress.
Real quick, can somebody tell me what it said? I didn't hear anything.
Subjects 41, 42, and 43 detected. 2 unknown black bodies detected.
Should be 3 unknown black bodies, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure that it would be that instead of not 4 known, 2 unknown. It's 3 and 3. Okay.
I'm going to look to Amon and Xavier and presumably Silas. It's my approximation. Just some. I think someone's popular with the local SI. You, I'm aware of. I nod to Amon. Why would they have files on you?
Why do you assume it's me?
Well...
But you want the easy answer?
Sure.
My sire's working with me.
Well, that would have been welcome information before the operation began, but fine.
Well, okay. I have. We've talked. I literally just said it outside too. If we see the kindred in here that's like me, he's mine. That's my sire.
It might
Wonderful
be worth
notice.
asking some questions, don't you think? Seeing what he knows. If he has a file that's been given on you to others, wouldn't you kind of like to know what he said?
I have my own plans for him.
I hope those plans include termination.
Oh, yeah.
Then
You
I
don't
have
know
nothing
my-
to worry about.
Caleb, I'll tell you later. Long story. The third, however, who is the third person they know?
Well, I have no
I don't think
reason
we should.
to believe it's Vampiro over here. And for reasons pertaining to my particular role within the Camarilla, it's not going to be me.
Yes.
Maybe
Are
we
we all
shouldn't hang
gonna
around
sit
and talk
around?
about this here.
Thank you. That's
Thank
exactly
you.
what I was thinking. If we go ahead and just sit here, we're just picking straws as to what we think they know. I think perhaps we need to move before we become like some of these little friends over here that we have. So rather than figuring out who knows what on whom, why don't we get out of this room?
Silas would nod and start pushing forward. They've detected they've detected us. Let's move. We agree.
Catherine would shake her head yes and eagerly point that way.
Well, I mean, Silas, somebody likes you. Well, walk on through the door.
I'll follow.
Is everyone going
Yeah,
through
go.
the door?
Yes,
Silently?
everyone's going
Yes.
through the door.
I'm
Yeah.
not even going to
go
bother
ahead and
hiding it
assume-
anymore.
Yeah, go ahead and assume I'm following everybody else. I'm just not going first.
The coterie walk through the door, being the only choice they really have. The door slams shut behind them and seems to lock. A male voice sounds over intercom speakers, and I'm sorry in advance. As you can see, the 3 subjects have entered the first room, joined by 3 unknown subjects. The additional blank bodies will only provide more research material. Let us see how they react to physical threat. Prepare the razors. As the voice stops, several metal clunks are heard through the room, and from the metal channels rise several fan-like blades, running along each channel, covering the floor in a sharp wall of death.
Do I have enough time to activate an ability
Yeah?
before I dodge it? Hold on. I have to make sure I'm picking the right one. Everybody else can go.
What else is in the room? Is there a door on the other side?
There is a door on the other side.
Cool. Is the door open?
Yes.
So we just need to get across?
I would like to activate fleetness, please.
I would too, please.
Show me fleetness. Okay.
I also thinking, well, what are the blades like? Is it like 1 or 2 things with blades on them, or is it like multitudes of blades?
The entire floor is literally covered in razor-sharp death.
May I make a route check for fleetness, please?
Yep.
Hey, Shiver, how far away is the door?
It's about
Like
10, 15 foot.
Cool, I believe.
Oh, that's smarter.
I waited to use my abilities. I try to do that more often now so people just don't go, yeah, I'll do that.
Show me blink. Do a rouse check, please.
Oh, that's actually not what I thought you were going to use.
So what are you doing?
Who?
Anyone.
Oh, okay. I blinked to the door and then turned back.
You take 4 aggravated damage,
Me?
and you don't make it across.
And he went first.
Let's be fair, make it 2 aggravated damage.
No, we'll do 4.
as the blades slice straight into your bone and flesh, foolishly trying to run as fast as you can through razor-sharp metal. The entire floor is covered in blades, and you're just like, dum-de-dum-de-dum.
The mechanisms are visible.
Yes.
Right, I'm going to blow the mechanisms to bits with my SMG.
Please do for me. Resolve firearms.
Alright. I'll do it.
You want to stick with that?
7 successes. Yeah.
Okay. Caleb readies his gun, attempting to take careful aim at the razors running across the entire floor, making sure that he hits each and every single one to stop them spinning. Unfortunately, in his enthusiasm to celebrate with his comrades, he forgets he's still holding the gun and accidentally shoots Armon in the foot. Armon, take 2 superficial damage.
I just healed that.
Oh.
So the blades are broken now?
Yep.
Sorry about that, old boy.
I'm also really
we
sorry.
can get across
Xavier.
now?
We'll have to...
So I'm looking at everyone else going, well, if everything's done, can we move now? By the way, nice shot, quick draw.
Well, when you can do one thing very well, head forward towards the open. Presumably the way is clear now, so.
Yep.
I follow.
Cool.
You hear a voice on the
Catherine
intercom.
follows also.
After you successfully blow up everything, it simply says, "Very good. Now move to the next room."
I have a question
poetry.
before we move on.
Oh.
Really
Please.
quick. If the Lazomra can cast shadows, is it enough to cover me to hit and obfuscate? Or is that not going to be enough? Depending on where we're at.
Depends on where you are. The coterie enter into the next room, heading through the chamber. They see no other way to progress and are forced to play along with the games. As they enter the foreboding chamber, they find themselves in an almost pitch-black room. Silas is already able to will his vitae to his eyes and begins scanning the room. Before he is able to fully assess his new surroundings, the familiar voice comes through once more on the intercom. And now we observe how the blank bodies react to some of their own. These creatures were captured some time ago. Hit the lights. Her lights burn into the back of the kindred's retina, and they hear an all too familiar terrifying scream.
I hate you, Shiv.
What was that?
Do you want to know the worst part? Is this is a new scene, so my fleetness is over. And so I burned a rouse check. And now I'm at 4 hunger for no reason.
Yep.
What was that?
What?
Catherine, darling, that rather wonderful fashion accessory you had coiled at your waist.
It most certainly is. I'm under the assumption you would like me to use it. I don't mind using my toy.
I'm not one to tell a woman to take her clothes off before a meal, but please do.
As you wish. Catherine's going to grab the whip and slash it completely off of her waist. Through the sheath, it's going to be dangling at the side of her body.
No problemo.
Oh.
Where are the targets located within the room, and how many?
Yeah, where do screams come from?
They came from corner of the room, front left, that was previously obscured, but now two shambling, petrified, flesh-rotten, covered whites are slowly shambling towards you, with hunger in their eyes.
Poor bastards.
I take out my blade.
Well, gentlemen, it looks like it's party time. Catherine is going to grab the whip and look at the two individuals coming, make a judgment call on distance, and intention is to airborne, flip, come down with the whip onto the first target, whichever one's closest.
Dexterity, melee.
Oh, that's cool.
And that target is going to try and dodge. So melee, dexterity, is what you're putting into the sheet. Would you care to re-roll up to 3 dice, if you like? Okay. Nitro, you like saying a line. How does someone do a WP re-roll?
There's a button under your willpower that says WB. I'm not even worried about combat right now. I'm sitting here going, how do I feed without trying to grapple one of these things?
If you were Tremere, that wouldn't be a problem. Much better. And your whip is +3?
That is correct.
Catherine launches herself into the air, using a nearby wall as leverage. Flails the whip in a spectacular flourish, lands in front of the white, cracks it, running it along the white's chest, opening it and letting Vitae spill forth over the room, doing quite considerable damage to the white that seems to ignore it and carry on shuffling towards them. Who's next?
If you don't mind. Seeing her do this flourish of flips and whatnot, I can't be showing up, so I'll go up to the first white I see, and just to add flavor to it, I slash with one blade, but I kind of continue the momentum and do a full spin around to try and hit it with the other one.
Strength. Wait, what? Oh, I see you. I see. Strength, melee. And that white is going to try and dodge.
I was just adding some flavor. Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
I'm re-rolling 3
So
of those.
Out of 5.
I hate this website.
Wow.
Guys, I think Amon's gonna die tonight, but that's okay.
Amon runs up to the second white, both of his blades, with one of his blades extracted, and attempts to show Catherine up with his own flourish of combat moves. The white, being too fast, dodges each one. Amon deploys his second blade, and attempts to capture the white on his second dodge. Unfortunately, it is too fast for him, as it lets out a scream of pure, furious hunger in his face. Next.
How much damage did it take? Oh, it just
You don't
it dodged?
It just dodged.
Okay. I feel less
I
bad
go up-
without missing them.
Oh, do you want to go?
I go up to the one that I'm trying to take on. I have my blade out. I do a little troll on the side of my body and to try to slash it.
Strength melee, please. White's going to try and dodge.
I like the band music, by the way.
Best bit of money I've ever spent was getting the license for all this music.
Nice.
Your sword
I'll
is
keep that.
+2?
That's 3. I'll make sure.
No, you're
I believe
right.
it's 3.
Swords are normally +3.
Okay.
Daggers are +2.
Federico takes his sword, gives a fancy little flourish with it, so as probably not to be shown up either, and attempts to hack and slash at the white, which attempts to dodge each and every single swipe of his majestic blade. Unfortunately, the white is unable to move as fast, and Federico sinks the blade directly into its shoulder, causing it a great amount of pain as Vitae begins to spill out onto the floor.
I say it to Amon. You look like you need some help.
Fucking you guys showing me up.
Catherine's gonna say, my, looks like somebody's had some practice.
Silas.
Silas will do a rouse check to activate feral weapons, and then move in towards one of the whites.
Do a rouse check for me, please. And show me feral weapons. Feral weapons is just turns superficial damage into ag.
No, it's so I get +2 to my damage, and it's unmitigated lethal, normal damage.
Yeah, hunger.
Nope. It's my blood potency lets me reroll low level distance.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
What's your blood potency? 3.
3, so I can do powers level 2 and under.
Yeah. Strength. Brawl. Did you have a preference about which you were fighting?
Nearest.
Okay. Strength and brawl, please. It's just...
I think I'll do a willpower reroll.
Okay.
Oof, that's gonna be hard to beat. But I'll try.
Not impossible.
Yep.
You're gonna have to get a crit, yeah.
At least I'll take less damage.
Silas extends his claws. With a face of fury upon him, he makes his way towards the white currently engaged in a battle with Catherine. He gives her a quick side look, because he knows he's already superior, and attempts to stab, claw, and mutilate the white, which dodges every single one of his swipes and still focuses on Catherine. Next.
Am I the only one left?
Caleb's left, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go ahead, Xavier.
Okay. The one Amon's in combat with, is it still alive?
Yep.
I'll go up and punch it.
Strength. Brawl. And it's going to just try and dodge.
How many whites were in this room with us?
2.
Okay.
I just leave it. It just dodged. I don't really care. That's funny though.
Xavier cracks his knuckles, looks at the white currently engaged in combat with Armon, and thinks to himself he could take that one out. Walks up to it and attempts to punch it as hard as he can. Every single one of his Irish boxing style punches unfortunately misses as the white skillfully moves out of the way, seeing every single punch come in a veritable splurry of slow motion.
Amon just sees me look at my hands. Ah, fuck it, and I'll reach for my shotgun.
We'll have to come to
Try to
that.
be quiet.
Caleb.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Yeah, I was just RPing what I did.
Yeah.
All right. The remaining one, the one that Xavier just tried to attack. I haven't used it yet. One of my specialties is firearms, like accurate shooting. So like a single shot to a vital point. In which case I'm aiming for the head to add that specialty in. Like I wouldn't do it with an SMG, obviously. So I've got the SMG in one hand. I take the pistol out and I stop and.
So that's going to be a cooled shot.
Yeah.
But you also get the bonus die for your specialty.
Yeah, so it sort of evens it out a little bit. Yeah.
Composure and firearms, please.
Okay, cool.
And that white is just going to try and dodge. This is kind of fast car stream here, fighting whites.
What's the modifier on it? Because I know obviously specialty,
+1.
but then there's the cold shot, so it's just 1. Yeah. Okay.
So you have 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
6.
6. No.
And your gun is +2.
The pistol is +2. Yeah.
Yeah. Caleb brings out one of his trusty pistols, cocks it, and takes very careful aim at the white. Attempting to hit it square between the eyes. Unfortunately, the white is able to move out of the way, but he still manages to fire a decent shot at it, hitting it in its shoulder, and still doing it rather painful damage as it lets out a cry of
even
hunger.
with 7?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a cooled shot against a messy
I
crystal.
know, but he. Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Cooled
I-
shots
I-
are meant to be
I-
incredibly difficult, but if you'd like to run the game, you're more than welcome, Armon.
No, I was just confused. I'm sorry.
No, it's alright, don't fuck yourself.
I'm happy
love
I
it.
hit the bloody thing at all, to be honest with you. But...
No, I am just giving you sass. If you do have an issue, do
I-
bring it up. I don't genuinely mean it, but I do like taking the piss.
Well, I miscounted a few,
Boy,
a few
does he.
times, so I was worried that maybe you miscounted, but no, you're fine.
Plus, it wasn't actually a critical. Reversed, innit?
That, right.
It's
Yeah,
a
I
real
was
concern,
counting.
Nitro. We know that Shiver can't count.
This is true. I've only got 11
Yeah, no,
fingers
I-
to count on.
Yeah, no, I was.
He
I
always
was
said I'm
counting the
3/5.
failures. Nice.
I thought you were trying to be a better person this year, Fastcart. What happened to your New Year's resolution?
I'm gonna be a worse person.
You and I'll work together. I'll train you.
3 months. The white, currently engaged with Catherine, is too busy focused on Catherine to think about any of the other people currently engaged with it. It is therefore It's going to cast Prowess. So a rouse check. And Prowess. The white takes its claws and its teeth and attempts to harm, punch, eviscerate the Banu standing in front of it. How would you like to respond? You can punch it back, but that would be your turn, or you can dodge.
It
Not you.
looks pretty. You said Banu.
I am going to dodge.
Okay. Dexterity and athletics, please. Or athletics, dexterity.
I just want to say I'm so glad that the white can succeed on its rouse checks and we can't.
I succeeded once.
Sticking with it.
I'm going to do it again.
Okay, you can reroll up to 3.
Yes. Okay.
The white brings its claws and fangs to bear on Catherine, who attempts to move out of the way. Unfortunately, the white moves slightly faster than she is able to get out of the way, and you take 3 superficial damage from the claws coming down upon you. The second white...
Catherine's going to screech from this.
Second white is also going to cast Prowess.
Yep, Nitro. Yep.
As it claws, punches, and attempts to bite at Armon. How would you like to respond, Armon?
I'll dodge.
Dexterity and athletics, please. I'll let you have that.
Okay, I thought that was going to go to the white.
The white attempts to claw and bite like something out of a horror movie as its jaws clasp firmly shut in front of Armand, who just about manages to get out of the way, but can't help but have his nostrils filled with the unmistakable pang of death and rotten flesh. Which brings us round to the players. Catherine Valorn.
Question. Whenever she flipped and she was able to do the damage, how far away is she from the target? Did she land?
She landed like just a few.
How close is she to the
feet in
target?
front. If you want to punch, visible grabbing range.
So not behind, but in front.
Yes.
My intention is to whip the whip around, wrap it around their throat, grab the other end, and pull from the front.
I'm going to count that as brawl. As a grapple, sorry. But you're going to use melee. So strength, melee. And this white can't really do much, I think, but... I think it's going to try and punch you back. Give that to Catherine. Catherine whips a blade around, directly around the throat of the wight, and pulls it into her and restrains it. And it is successfully grappled. Armon.
How tall are these wights? I'm asking.
What are you going for here?
I just want to. I mean, I know you'll probably have me roll something different, but I just want to jump over its head and try and slash it as I'm going over its head.
Do you have Soaring Leap?
I do.
Show me Soaring Leap.
That's kind of what I was asking. I was wondering if I was going to have to use Soaring Leap or not. Luckily, it is not a rouse check.
Okay, that's fine. You want to jump over it and
slash at it while I'm over its head in the air.
Okay, that's gonna be 2 moves. So you can either jump over it and then wait till the next turn to slash it, or you can just slash it.
No, I'll just slash
because those
it
are
then.
2 separate dice rolls.
That's fair. No, I'll just slice at it. I was trying to be
Okay.
flashy. I'll just slice at it.
Strength, melee. That one. And that one is going to try and punch you back.
Ha-ha!
Armon. Plus 3?
3, yes.
Plus 3. Armon takes his wrist blades and plunges them straight through the wight's chest, piercing it through its heart, ribcage, and various other decayed, destroyed vital organs. It spills blood all over the floor that runs down his blades. It begins to fight back at him, but eventually loses steam and falls dead on the end of his blades.
Oh, that was easier than I thought. I should not say shit.
I don't know,
like that
someone
out
was complaining about 45-minute long combat, so I'm making it slow now. Faster now. Federico.
So the one that Amon and I were fighting is down now, correct?
Yes.
It's a white kebab.
So I focused my attention on the other white that Catherine has angled. I just slashed it.
Strength melee, please. And it's just going to try and dodge.
Really? I'm not even going to try to use willpower on that one.
Federico spins on his heels and attempts to take his sword and plunge it straight through the undead beast's shoulder blades, or anywhere that he can even get a hit. Unfortunately, the wight is too fast for him and aware of the movement behind him, moving out of the way of his blade. But thankfully, he's restrained enough and skilled enough to not hit anyone of his comrades accidentally. Silas.
Silas will continue with his onslaught. Hopefully he'll hit this time, but he will be slashing with his feral weapons.
Okay, strength. Brawl. And it's just going to try and dodge.
I will not try to reroll anything.
I could have done with that when I was attacking. Silas attempts to claw and eviscerate his target from behind. The wight, being fully aware that it's surrounded, manages to get out of the way of every single blow, but still lets out a scream and howl of frustration. Xavier.
After seeing all this, I'm like, oh god. Okay. I I will activate prowess.
Rouse check for me, please.
Yep.
Lovely. And you're going to attempt to literally hit its head off.
Yeah, I think at this point,
Basically.
Yeah, I put the shotgun back up, and I'm like, okay, all right, I see how this is going. I can do this too.
Strength, brawl. And it's just going to try and dodge.
I add what to it?
Nothing.
For prowess?
You don't. Damage comes
add the
after the
post-rating
initial.
of the user.
The damage comes after the initial roll. You still have to win the first contest.
Yeah.
The damage
Yep,
is
that's
the
fine.
margin, so it's added to the margin.
And add half their potence rating rounded up to melee damage. Yeah, okay, cool.
You could always reroll.
No,
I would.
you also don't have 3 willpower,
That's true.
and the rest
Have
of it
4.
to go through. I mean, I had 4. I used one already.
Okie dokie. Okie dokie. What's your hunger level? 2. Xavier attempts to punch the white in the back of the head, having willed his vitae into his arms and knuckles, and knows that he's a lethal killing machine. Unfortunately, the white is able to get out of the way of every single one of his attempted punches. Getting more and more frustrated, the beast inside of his soul begins to well up to the front, screaming in his ear. You will suffer from the rebellion compulsion. Xavier takes a stand against whatever or whomever he sees as the status quo in the situation, whether that's the leader, a viewpoint expressed by someone, or just a task they were supposed to do, until he's gone against orders, expected or perceived or real. He receives a 2 dice penalty to all rolls. This will end when he's managed to either make someone change their minds, by force if necessary, or done the opposite of what was expected of him. Caleb.
Remaining white and kind of getting frustrated at this point, so holsters the pistol one, just levels the SMG, and he's going to unload into the remaining white.
Composure, firearms. And it's just going to try and dodge. Don't worry, when it comes to attacking, I'm just going to roll 1.
Say that.
Sticking with it?
Have you had
Yeah.
No, you did have a defense that wasn't a critical hit. I was like, you've had critical hits on the past 3 or 4, though. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll stick with it. It's fine. I don't want to burn willpower yet.
Alright. Caleb brings the SMG out and attempts to fire on the white, unloading the clip into its back. Unfortunately, the white is far too fast and sees every single bullet leave the barrel of the gun, dodging each and every single one, completely turning its back afterwards to Caleb and focusing its attention entirely on Armand. Oh no, entirely on Catherine. As it spins round, it bares its fangs at Catherine. Oh no, it can't, because Catherine has it grappled. So the only thing the white can do is try and get out, which is going to be strength and brawl against Catherine's strength and brawl. Ooh, you see? The white attempts to struggle against the sharp, cold metal of Catherine's whip. Unfortunately, Catherine proves too strong for it. The amount of blood it's lost has also made it much weaker, and it remains firmly under Catherine's grasp. Catherine, what you doing?
I'm gonna pull that blade as deep as I can, trying to pull it straight through the neck.
Strength, melee. And it can't dodge.
Engage Beyblade.
I get that reference.
Catherine tightens the garrote around the white's neck, sinking the metal deep into its larynx, decapitating it, and it falls to the floor as liquid vitae slowly drizzles out into the gutter of the chamber.
These are whites, but do they... I know that these are whites, but do they, like, die in vampiric fashion where they shrivel up in ashes or whatever, or...
They're not old enough to go into ashes.
Okay. I would need Iron Gullet to be able to feed on them, wouldn't I? Now that they're dead? Okay, never mind then.
And given my predator exclusion, it would be okay if I feed on a white, right?
That New Year's resolution of yours just means nothing to you.
You know he's in training. I mean, come on. That would be perfectly acceptable in training.
As the body falls to the floor, dead, the familiar voice rings through on the intercom. As you can see, they do not even care for their own. They won't even try to save them. A true predator among predators. I don't know what accent this fucking is, but I'm sticking with it. Subjects,
I love it.
Proceed to the next room. It's a little French, a little German.
It's half Doctor Strangelove, half fat bastard. Keep going.
Yeah, it's very mad sciencey, and I love it.
It's foreign. It's foreign accent.
Yeah. Mad scientist voice.
I look to Amon and say, "You really are Stabby. Nice going."
You can tell I'm like just staring at you for like a few seconds, and then I just go back to the group.
And I just look at all of you and say, okay, who's buying me dinner?
You're telling me I could go for something to eat right now.
Yeah, well, I already asked you to take your belt off. I suppose I ought to do the gentlemanly thing, but let's get out of here alive first.
True.
All right, Dr. Strangelove, what next?
The door opens with a loud metal clunk, sliding into the floor and allowing passage into the next chamber. As they enter the foreboding chamber, they find themselves in an almost pitch-black room. No, that's the wrong fucking room. The group are ushered into the next room, it being their only recourse. They enter into a particularly large, round chamber. A platform runs along the interior of the chamber, 20 feet above them. Opposite from them is another bulkhead door. A voice comes through on the intercom. We can now test and showcase the blank body's reactions to certain outside stimuli. I'm here to fix your photocopy. No. Observe what happens when we release Subject Gamma into the chamber. Subject Gamma was picked up by our agents some time ago. His preoccupations brought him on our radar. And when the chance was presented, we had him captured and staged a body to be found in his place. Send in Father John.
Oh my god.
Across from the bulkhead door opens, and a cowering, familiar face is seen through the crack. He reluctantly steps over the threshold, and you see Father John.
Do I see a sense of recognition across people's faces when they see him?
loud enough for him to hear me wherever he's at, because I'm kind of confused on distance and whatnot. I just go, "Oh, John."
I look to Amon and say, "You know this guy? I knew this guy."
Yeah, he's a pervert priest that I thought was dead.
Oh, that's pervert. This is going to make this easier.
And Catherine
Yeah,
goes, "Who the fuck is this? Can we kill him? Is that okay?"
I mean, if I didn't have a problem with him last time, but he is a priest, and we are in SI territory, so just be careful. And I say that looking at Caleb.
Is he obviously Caleb's never met him before? Is he obviously a member of the clergy to Caleb's? Like, is he garbed out as such?
Yeah. Resplendent as he is, dog collar and all,
Cool.
and a wet patch
Yeah,
on
that's
his
what I was looking
crotch.
for.
Oh, so he hasn't changed much. Got it.
No, but he has pissed
Well-
himself.
Yeah. How long have they
At
had
least
you
he's wearing
cooped up
pants
here?
this time.
Yeah. I'm going to ask him. How long have they had you cooped up here?
I don't know. Where am I? What's going on? Why are you here? Don't hurt me.
Catherine's going to look at the group and go, "Y'all, we have a job to do. Can we do this and keep going, or what?"
Did the door he came out of, or the Father John come out of, close behind him, or is it still open?
It closed behind him.
Can you go over just placement again? I'm just kind of confused about room layout.
You're in a round chamber. The door across the way from you opened and allowed Father John entry. The door closed behind
Okay.
him. The door behind you is also closed. There is a platform
Gotcha.
above you.
Well, Amon, you were hungry, and you said this one isn't exactly any morally superior to us.
Yeah, I'm worried that that's what they want us to do.
They can maybe
Well-
turn to.
Caleb, beware true face.
Tainted blood. Sorry.
Well, you said this man was not exactly on the level.
And Catherine's going to kind of point up and go, "Has anybody paid any attention to this thing above us?"
Now we're checking that out.
About how high is it, Shiv?
Yeah, I'm going to take a look at what she's pointing at.
It's about... Tell you what, actually, Armand. Do wits and awareness for me, please.
Okay. I kind of forgot I have uncanny grip, but I'm trying to see if it's soaring leap height. Oof.
I'll let you have that as a normal success at cost, if you like.
Okay.
Well, because otherwise
I
you're going
don't
to give in to
know-
the beast like Xavier has.
That's right. No, you're right. Yes, okay. Yeah, and at 400, that's not a good thing.
The platform is about 30 feet high, but you do notice a ladder behind Father John. Your
You
cost is
said,
you're not going to be able to
he-
cheat and just get straight up there. Fuck you.
Okay. You said he's wearing a dog collar. Is he chained to anything?
No.
Or is he just okay?
I'm going to draw... Well, no, I would already have the SMG out. Just kind of pointing at John. Father John, I'm like... Up the ladder, would you?
I'm not going up the ladder. You
Go
don't know
on.
what's going to happen to me if I go up the ladder. I'm not going up the ladder. You go up the ladder. I'm staying here.
I can tell you what's going to happen to you if you stay down. And I... on the SMG.
I mean, I'd rather be shot than whatever it is they have in mind for me. Look what they did. They pushed me in front of you. 6. Jesus.
Can I,
Yeah, 6.
unless anybody from the group stops me, I'd like to go up to him. And this sounds really weird, Shiv, but can I inspect him in a way to see if maybe they did something to, like, is he on something? Did they give him something?
Intelligence medicine.
Oh shit. Okay. This should be interesting. Medicine. This wouldn't be like an insight. No, I'm kidding.
Would you like success at cost?
Yeah.
Armand strides up to Father John, who turns into a puddle of nerves beneath his gaze. As Armand is inspecting this petrified excuse of a human being, the beast briefly comes up inside of him and screams. He needs to feed. Armand can't resist, grabs the priest, and sinks his fangs into the flesh, feeding upon Father John, draining him of all his vitae, but slaking
I wouldn't do that if I were too late.
to hunger.
Oh,
And you also take a humanity stain.
Only 2. Pathetic, John. He's dead now, right?
As Father collapses, dead, to the floor, a familiar voice over the intercom comes forth once more. Now, let us introduce Subject Omega. Subject Omega is not a man of the cloth. In fact, Subject Omega has a very strong political leanings. Omega comes from Cuba and is a firm believer in the government there and its philosophy. Observe. And the door clangs open, revealing a casually dressed Cuban male who steps forth, holding a badge, very small badge in the shape of a red star.
You bastard.
Oh my god, that's amazing. I was like, who the fuck is this?
Armand, you didn't move, Father John, did you?
No, I didn't.
So you're basically in front of the door that this person has just stepped out of.
I believe I am.
Could you do for me a willpower test, please?
Yay, sure. I'm gonna explode, guys. Watch.
He's got true faith in communism. Fantastic.
Oh my, Cuban Pete. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, how much damage do I take, Shiv? A lot. A lot.
Enough to put you,
Well, hold on.
at least
how
in
much?
torpor. 6 aggravated damage.
No, I'm still up.
Oh, thank God.
I have 7 health.
You are also compelled
Nice.
to move as far away from him as you possibly can and cannot go near him. You cannot even look at him.
I just go hide behind Caleb. Just like, oh, that fucking hurt. Who is that guy?
Caleb's got the SMG to hand. Reloads because he emptied the clip in the last room. And how old does the chap look?
Mid-30s. By Cuban standards, he's old.
Yeah. Nobody recognizes, but I spent my human life making sure you lot were nothing but a footnote.
Okay.
Schmiert Spearnam. Death to spies. And then I open fire on him.
Could you do for me resolve? No. A willpower test, please.
Sure. Oh. gone. Da, 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 da.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Do resolve and firearms for me, please. Difficulty 3. Shouldn't have told you the difficulty, but it's a shot, so you should. No, difficulty doesn't often change anyway.
However much he believes in communism, Caleb hates it that much more. Yeah.
Caleb opens fire with the SMG, successfully hitting Cuban Pete several times in the chest. Although Cuban Pete is still able to stand, he is still profusely bleeding. This isn't officially combat, by the way, so whatever the hell you want to do, go for it.
Well, and he's on the ground now, like bleeding out.
Yeah.
I kind of look up again at the, as if I'm speaking to the disembodied voice.
Which one? The one in your head or the one in the facility?
Both.
Strangelove. I'm sorry, Dr. Weird Romance.
Yeah. Romance.
Dr. Weird, it's just
Bizarre
sex.
lust. Yeah. It's just business, yeah. Looking up. If this is supposed to challenge us, you could try something I wasn't after doing in my lifetime.
You don't get a response.
Safe to assume we no longer have to stealth in here. They know we're here.
Yeah.
Shiver.
Catherine's
Oh, go ahead.
going to speak up and say, okay, guys, look, they're just sending one after the other in. We still haven't looked at this platform. And it's right there. So, is there any
to
thought?
walk by him.
We're not getting up there unless we bypass the walking communist roadblock over there.
Well,
And I unfortunately killed the easy one.
Funny you should.
question, Shiver. How it's going to be too far for the whip to reach, correct?
Correct.
Gotcha.
Shiver.
Xavier.
I load the dragon's breath ammo.
Okay.
I had one session's worth or one scene's worth or something like that.
One session's worth.
Mm.
You are evil.
And I would
love
reckon,
it.
I would recognize that as he loads it, and you just, as I'm watching Xavier load it, I'm like, just this big grin breaks out across his face. Like, he's going to set the commie on fire.
Shall we?
By all means, boy, put on a show.
I shoot this communist.
Do a willpower test for me, please.
All right.
Caleb said that. He's gonna light the communist on fire.
No.
What's your health level, Xavier? Would you like success at cost?
Yeah, make it count.
Yes.
Yes! Xavier brings a shotgun to bear on poor Pete. Fires off several rounds. In fact, reloading several times as a shotgun is firing to ensure it's thoroughly done. He burns the victim alive. The screams of pain echo through the chamber. You take 2 humanity stains. As Cuban Pete burns to death slowly, he was only 3 days away from retirement. An alarm breaks out across the facility. On the platform above, the coterie can hear the now familiar sound of the heavy bulkhead doors opening, but this time followed by the sound of heavy combat boots on concrete. As the coterie look up, they can see several soldiers with guns trained on them.
How many are we talking?
6.
Yeah.
What's holding the catwalk up?
It's all like this concrete platform.
Ah, balls.
What is in front of the ladder? So is it
A
just the human
burned
was,
Cuban.
but there isn't anything now?
A burned Cupid.
Does the ladder go up to the platform?
It does.
Amon's just sitting
Does
there
she-
holding his. Sorry, go ahead, Flush.
Now I was gonna make a bad joke. Does she smell like a cigar?
That is a terrible bad
Go ahead.
joke, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Take a humanities stain.
What's the
Um,
cover like in the room where we are?
None.
Ah, fuck. And do they look like
just-
they're...
I'm
Sorry, go
just
ahead.
sitting there holding my head, because I imagine that the true face, since it didn't touch me, was like a really bad headache. Okay, so I'm just like, I don't think I have it in me for another fight.
Catherine's gonna kind of walk over a little bit towards the La Zambra, kind of casually, and kind of whisper, "Any way you can activate a lot of shadows?"
Unfortunately, I don't have that level of control of the shadows. Mostly just stuff close around me. I have some ideas though when they're closer.
Are these figures looking like they're going to engage, or are they just training their guns on us and waiting?
Just training their guns on. They're in montage sequence. That's how they're training.
Yeah. What I do want to do with Silas is I want to try to move closer to the ladder stealthily, like with the shadow.
I'll let you do that for free.
Okay.
You're going to look up. Cannon's going to look up at one of the. I'm assuming are the figures on the thing above us. Do they look? How do they look? Are we talking full tactical gear or like?
I think, given Caleb's experience and knowledge, you'll look up at them and you'll recognise as, very amateur guns for hire, no body armour, barely, barely maintained weaponry.
And can I see their faces?
Yes.
Okay. A plan is forming. How far away?
Do they have the ability to see me directly?
Yes. Unless you move
I am
and be all like,
going
"Form a human
to.
wall."
I'm going to address the. I mean, I imagine they're all relatively different levels of scary. Scary. I'm going to address the biggest one. And I'm going to say to him, I heard Steve and Gary over here, the SI, were paying them more than you. And I'm going to attempt to use demontation on him to get him to fire on his comrades.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do too.
I mean, I'm not sure. It's not exactly how demontation is supposed to work, but I'm going to let you because it's a great idea.
Oh, right, okay.
Demontation
Well,
does
I mean, if it gets-
willpower damage.
Okay. That's me not understanding how anything bloody works.
Yeah,
Compel, I think, would do exactly what you want to do, though. If you want to
Right,
compel.
okay. No, I don't have that, but that's fine. Like, I'm attempting to break him so that he, because an armed crazy person up on the balcony with them is kind of my end goal here.
Yeah. Actually, I really like this idea. Show me demontation. What's the saving roll?
Manipulation. manipulation and dominate versus composure and intelligence.
You're going to win this. Go for it.
Yeah.
I think you need a rouse check for dementation.
Yeah, I'll roll it in a sec. Roll me dice.
I think Miss Hartz has got some
Nice.
good advice for you there in chat.
Yeah. Other road do a rouse check as well, no worries.
Gain a hunger.
Alright, no worries.
As Caleb's words echo through the empty chamber, they resonate in the man's skull. He seems incredibly unsure of himself, like his will has been broken, and he has no idea what to do as he breaks down psychologically before them. Very much like Miss Hartz is touched.
Just phony. Just fucking dig. Just remind me.
Very much like a dog abandoned in the alleyway that Armand would feed on randomly.
No, Kalo's dead. Fuck that dog.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
Woof.
Right?
Silas, you said you had a plan of action.
Yes. Can I use mesmerize from this distance, or do I have to be closer?
Eye contact.
Yeah, I was thinking I had to be a little I have to make eye contact with them, and they have to hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I have to get closer.
I would say that you could find a guard that is close enough to do this on, even from down below.
Okay, fair enough. I will do that then. I'm going to
but don't make
grab
this a
that
habit or
guard's
expect
attention.
it the next time.
That's fair. I'm going to get the guard's attention, and I'm going to use mesmerize. If he's expecting it, he's going to get a save. If he's not expecting it, then he doesn't. I'll go ahead and roll the rouse.
He is not expecting it.
Okay. My command is shoot them, and I'm just going to point to the opposite side or some other guards.
Did he just nobody expected the Second Inquisition to the Second Inquisition?
We
Holy
couldn't do
shit.
this session without that happening. Thank you, Xavier. Have an XP point.
Ah.
The
Teacher's
guard.
pet.
The guard, and was staring into Silas's eyes, briefly glasses over. He turns to his comrades and opens fire. The man across from him that heard Caleb's words, completely psychologically broken and having no clue what to do, copies the man's actions, shooting every single one of the armed guards above the platform, and then eventually turning the guns upon themselves.
Teamwork. Yeah. I could do fuck all in the situation. Good job, guys.
I'll just throw my hands up and be like, that was the easiest fucking fight I've ever had.
Was that even a fight?
I mean, yeah.
Silas will turn to Caleb.
That's how they fight.
Silas will turn to Caleb. Well done.
Catherine just crosses her arms across her chest, taps her nails on her arm, and says, "Can we go now?"
I give a polite applause and then head toward the door if I can.
Let's not stand around patting ourselves on the back.
Amon would probably be either behind Xavier or Caleb, still with one hand up on his head, like he just has a pounding headache still. And probably while he's up behind him, whoever is closest, just put a hand on their shoulder to kind of, so he knows what direction to be going, because he's probably not going to be paying much attention.
I'll look back to Amon. Probably should have saved that bag of werewolf blood, don't you think?
Yeah. I need to start bringing snacks.
Catherine's
Although
going
I
to
don't
kind of
think
just
that'd help.
weave through the crowd a little bit and get a little bit closer to Caleb. and just start talking. So, hey, Caleb, good job out there. So, tell me a little bit more about what's this mess going on with his sire?
He tends to keep people at arm's length. I've only known him for, well, a shorter time than most people here. Just, if we come face to face with him, the sire, don't get in his way. He's earned it.
Any
That
idea
you
why
two
his
talk.
sire's even here?
No, and given the Second Inquisition's predilection for snatching our kind up off the streets, I'm surprised they would work with one of us, but he's going to terminate him, and that's all I care about.
Catherine kind of just puts a hand on Caleb's shoulder for a second and says, You know, think about this. Something you said was very important. You said that the Inquisition doesn't normally pick up our kind and work with them. So maybe it'd be worthwhile before cutting the throat to figure out what he knows. Because there may be a lot that he knows that might be able to, help us out rather than just quick bang, bang, bye, bye.
Xavier is a headstrong fellow, but he's not a fool. I'm sure he already has that in mind, but I'm sure he wouldn't say no to any help that he needs in persuasive matters, and you, my dear, I'm sure can be very persuasive.
Catherine kind of just pats him on the back and says, You know, you owe me dinner. And yes, I am rather persuasive. Just thinking
Well,
about all the information he has to know being here. And that could be rather beneficial. And I'm sure maybe even those that are of higher rank might be very interested to know this information. We can always give him to him later, right? You can kill him whenever, but get the info out of him first. And there may be some that might, pull rank on us and want to be the ones that get the information. Doesn't mean he can't get them later. Or from us, either.
I show Catherine. I flash the palm with the red moon on it, and remind her. No one here is pulling rank on me, dear. Don't worry.
Catherine's going to smile that sweet little smile and say, I am so glad you are so charming. Just remember, there may be a time where we might need info. I'd hate to give it up that easily. But you still owe me dinner. She continues to kind of walk near him, but maybe a tiny bit ahead.
And the weight of the wooden stake in Caleb's inside pocket is suddenly very reassuring. We continue.
Is that a wooden stake in your pocket, or are you just pleased to see me?
I slow up
I did use Blush of Life, so.
I slow up and let Amon and whoever's helping him catch up. I look at Amon to see.
The last part.
Not use medical, but I look at Amon and see what kind of safeties and I try to offer him help if possible, help walking.
I think I'm good. I wasn't expecting something that powerful to walk out in front of me. Although I should have.
So, are you really gonna tell me your name now, or do I have to keep calling you Stabby?
Call me whatever you want, dude. I just want to get out of here.
Well,
how are you proceeding?
Is the only way up
The only way is up.
Okay.
Maybe.
You said there's like a ladder that comes halfway down?
It comes all the way down.
Oh, okay. Climb up the ladder and...
You reach the top of the ladder. Along the platform are many dead bodies. You see a number of doors, each one with a handprint lock next to it.
Oh, good.
I look at the soldiers that are lying around. I wonder if they're... Look at the group. Do you think one of their handprints can open this?
Not that they're... Now that they're dead.
Still warm.
Yeah, it's true. I guess they're still a little bit warm. But yeah, probably. I know none of us are going to be able to make it there.
I'll walk up to one of them.
Go ahead.
I'll walk up to one of the soldiers laying on the ground, take off his glove, and try to put it on their handprint.
You're going to have to drag that soldier along.
Okay.
I'll help him with it. Pick the body up.
So boring.
You either
Or you
say
could just-
you can't do it, or you can. Because if
You can do that. I was hoping that someone was going to take the initiative and just cut their hand off.
That's what I was going to say, Federico. You've got a sword.
Oh.
If I wasn't at 1 health, I'd totally try my own hand to see if my biometrics still work. But I don't want to know what happens when they don't.
So, are you going to cut the body? Are you going to cut the hand off the body? Or are you going to drag the body?
I cut the hand.
Fuck yes, that's a
Body.
free action. Federico takes the severed hand, walks up to the lock, and gives it 15. It opens under the touch of the dead officer's hand. The door screeches open as the alert continues, where you're going to have to fucking wait. Its ear-piercing drones through the hallways. Upon the walls in front of the coven, printed upon the walls, are the words bathrooms and holding, leading in opposite directions. Now you may ask your question.
Well, I have a hand now, right?
That was not worth interrupting me for.
This wasn't the only door up here, right?
Correct.
How many other doors were there?
Another 2.
Just out of curiosity, I walk over to one of the other guards, just chop his hand off, and I walk over and see what through the other 2 doors.
The door screeches open as the alert continues, its ear-piercing drone through the hallways. Upon the walls in front of them are the words bathrooms and holding.
And that's what it is behind those.
Behind every
other 2
door.
doors too.
Apart from
But
one that's got
they're
a
in-
cuddly toy. I don't know, yeah.
Th-
You're in a circle.
This is
What do you
around.
expect?
Yeah, this is a circle. Like, how far apart are the doors?
An irrelevant amount.
Okay.
This is like the toilets at the O2 Arena.
I'll
Right to left,
go ahead.
right.
Stealthily approach holding.
I was
Just
gonna,
you on your
I
own?
was gonna ask you what. I was gonna ask you
Nobody
whether or not
needs
the holding
bits.
doors have. I was gonna ask whether or not the holding doors have a window to it or it's a solid door that we can look through to see who's in it.
Well, right now you're in one chamber. No one's told me what they're doing. You can't see through solid brick wall, round corners, and through the whole facility, so you
Okay.
don't have a clue.
Okay.
Yeah, so-
I'm following.
I was waiting for Isaac.
Go ahead, Caleb.
yeah, kind of point in the direction of the bathrooms. Assuming nobody wants piss, I think we should go this way.
Fine.
As soon as everybody else goes, I follow, but I'm in the back.
Then I am right behind Caleb in the walk.
Everyone going along to the holding cell?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
As the coterie head through the corridor, ignoring the blazing alarm, they approach the holding area. Thanks to their supernatural senses, they're able to see fairly far ahead and can already see 3 armed guards on the door to the holding cells.
Those guards, do they look alerted?
Yeah, there was bells going on and stuff.
They don't look alerted, but I think it's fair to say with your supernatural senses, you can already see that these guards are unlike anything else you've experienced in this facility before. They're far more familiar to you than the time you were outside the Setite holding and were ambushed.
Okay,
That's
but with the
fine.
alarms going off, they don't seem like they're on high alert or just...
No,
Okay.
you especially, and Caleb will get the impression just from that alone that these are well-disciplined, highly trained, specialized soldiers.
And you said there are drones around or cameras?
No, that was the description of the alarm droning into the corridor.
So there is no cameras and there is no drones.
Correct.
There's just three badasses.
All right. What's the cover between us and them?
It's an open corridor, but you are round the corner at the moment.
All right, and we stay there. Go ahead, Xavier.
Remember those guys we met before the constable came in and saved our asses?
Yeah, the Deltas, yeah. We do have the advantage of surprise here, although they will only last for so long.
Question. Is that astrolite you picked up earlier?
It was.
What'd you plan to do with that?
Well, I had assumed that was for the abomination, but...
Do we know they're keeping it here? Oh, you want to save it for later.
Sure. They're dangerous, but they had us at disadvantage before. We just battled well.
Amon's just sitting there kind of leaned up against the wall. I think, I don't know about you guys, but I'm at a disadvantage right now. I don't know if I'm going to be much help.
And
I
Catherine-
wasn't planning based on just you, sorry.
I know. I'm just saying.
And Catherine's gonna say, okay, guys, I can always hit obfuscate and just go walk down there.
I mean, that's what I was about to see. At the very least, you could try to assassinate one from behind, too. And when we see
Reduce
you
the
go,
numbers.
we could come out and back you up with some cover fire once you did it.
Just,
Because
Catherine, dear, be careful. These ones are a cut above everything we've fought so far.
so am I. What I'll do
All
is
right.
hit obfuscate, and then I'll come up behind one. If I can do enough damage, they will turn towards me. The rest of you are coming in behind them.
Mhm.
You'll have the advantage if they're not facing you. They're facing me.
And as she does that, I'm going to take one of my pistols out and hand it over to Amon. I'm like, I don't know
You just took my idea.
if you're any good, but if you need to stay at range...
Look over to.
He does that. Like, you know, like in movies, everyone, when they get handed a pistol or whatever, they pull the slide back.
Yeah,
But when
you
you
just
do
waste
that with a
around.
fully loaded, yeah, you just waste around. Amon does that because he doesn't know how to handle a pistol.
I look over to Muscles and ask him, do you have any little special shells, special ammo left?
No. I mean, to share? No.
Oh, no, just for yourself. I can't
Oh,
use
yeah.
it. Okay.
All right, well, Catherine, my dear, do your thing.
Okay, just turn around and don't look. I'm bashful. So
I
she's
turn
gonna
around.
drop
I know what
straight
she's talking about,
into
yeah.
obfuscate.
Do a rouse check for me, please, Catherine. Gain a hunger.
So she drops into obfuscate. The intention is to go walk down the hall, try to get up behind one of the guards.
Ooh.
All fine, no problem.
Okay. I thought about something there. I wasn't sure if we were just made or not.
That's your creepy imposter voice,
Could-
by the way, breaching through there, Armand.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Are they armed the same as they were when we encountered them in the car park? Or like, what equipment do they have on them?
Oh, they're all Tim Clancy.
Tim Clancy.
Is there any specific difference I can see between all three? Because I'm behind one.
I mean, there's light. But that's about it. They're all wearing standard Spec Ops uniforms and equipment.
Isn't he a little short to be a stormtrooper?
God damn it.
I know what I'd do if I was there, but I don't want to met her.
If no one else is going to make a move, then the intention is to Garrett wire again, wrap around the neck, and pull.
Do strength and melee for me, please.
Agent 47 style.
I'm going to be really nice to you. Catherine takes the bladed whip, wraps it very quickly around one of the guard's neck, pulls it through, and decapitates him. The other two guards immediately stand to alert.
So the moment, I've been watching this, so the moment I see the head come off, I'm going to open fire on one of the remaining. So I'm assuming, Xavier, you're doing the same?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we do that.
Resolve. Firearms for me, please.
Clicking resolve.
Does Blood Surge work for this too?
Hey! Phenomenal.
Insane, yeah.
Blood Surge just for discipline power, Silas.
Dex. Blood Surge should bump his dex, his physical attribute, so he can bump his dex. So actually, I think now it can bump any attribute, but you have to choose one. I'll have to double check that. He can bump his dex.
Die. Blood Surge just gives you dice. What's can you use it on is what I'm asking. That's what he said is just discipline.
Oh, no, you can use it on anything. You can Blood Surge and pick a lock.
There we go.
Okay.
That's a funny thought. I don't know why.
I always thought it was just powers, but fair enough. That's the best firearms roll we've ever seen.
Yes or no?
Yeah, you can absolutely use a Blood Surge.
I'm going to Blood Surge.
Gain a hunger. And your blood potency is 1 or 2?
So I believe it's +2 dice.
Yeah, because your blood potency 1.
Yep.
Okay. So +2 modifier.
Firearms and resolve.
Lovely.
Hells
All right.
yeah.
So what we're going to do... They take 4. And what gun were you firing, Caleb?
The SMG, so +3.
Ooh.
I have to take a quick break. I'll be right back.
What gun are you firing, Xavier?
I'll do the SMG2 for this.
Xavier and Caleb, my God, that's an appropriate background. Xavier and Caleb open fire on the two guards, riddling their bodies with bullets. However, despite the sheer amount of wounding they do to them, they still stand. They take aim back and fire their guns in retaliation.
Oh, I can dodge a bullet. Famous last words, right?
Oh, that's not even a crit.
So
No, we
Xavier,
don't.
6.
I have rapid reflex.
That's
Well, I
passive.
can
As do I.
So yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I've got that as
just
well.
means that
Okay.
there's no penalty to not being in cover.
Yeah.
So do Dex and Athletics for me, please.
Is that both of us, sorry?
Just Xavier right now.
Alright.
Sticking with it.
He can't,
I can't
get
reroll.
anymore.
Thanks, Nitro.
Sorry.
I mean, you can re-roll 3.
No.
You might not do any
I
better.
can't. No, bad.
Do it for the crit. Do it for the crit. I'm kidding.
No, it's only 1 dice difference.
That's
It'll be 2
okay.
successes
So
though.
the Inquisitor fires back at you, just barely scraping you as you move out of the way. You take 2
How hard I-
superficial damage from a bullet that grazes your shoulder. This Inquisitor is also going to fire back at Caleb. And if you want to do Dexterity and Athletics, please, Caleb.
Alright, yes.
Man, not having to roll hunger die is great.
I mean, you can re-roll 1 and go for the crit.
No, there's no point.
Okay. That's 3, 6. Caleb, unfortunately, is not quite as fast as Xavier and ends up taking a bullet in his chin, which does 3 superficial damage.
Alright.
After the Inquisitors have fired off their guns, the amount of blood they have lost causes them to fall to the ground, dead.
Alright, check my leg.
Amon rips around the corner with the gun pointed out. He goes, "Oh, you've got it. Cool."
I have my sword out and I say, oh, never mind.
I haven't been
Amon,
shot
for some
since.
reason- Go ahead.
I haven't been shot since 2010. Fuck. That bastard caught me sleeping.
And Catherine's just holding the blade, one on each end with each hand, as it just drips blood downwards. Kind of looks at the blade a little bit and goes, yeah, someone is taking me to dinner.
Okay, I get it. I owe you.
Amon's just standing there and he goes, "Oh shit, I left the safety on."
I walk up.
When he said,
I walk up.
when he says that, I'm gonna just take the gun. I'm like, oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I walk up to Catherine. I walk up to Catherine, look around to see if there's a room or a door or anything around. What a guard regarding.
Do wits and awareness for me, please.
Does awareness instinct specialty comes into play?
Pardon? Awareness, instinct, what?
I have a specialty in awareness called instinct.
No.
Okay.
That's weird. Where do you get that from?
Good enough for me. Federico looks around and sees another locked bulkhead door. He's able to spy a lock next to it. Unlike any of the others he's seen before, he's able to theorize looking at it. It works on eyeballs.
I lean down with off. Are these guys wearing masks?
Mm-hmm.
A helmet?
One of them is
I'll
headless.
take off.
Oh,
I'll take the head one, Dan. I take the headless thing and then stick it up to the eyeball slot. Open up the
You're
eye first,
welcome.
obviously.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ways to get ahead in the seconding position.
Hey.
The group.
A book for idiots.
He shouldn't have lost his hand.
Hey, now I have a hand and a head.
I know this background's from, but it's funny to me.
I don't. The
It's
group
Resident Evil.
enter into the cell, and Xavier is instantly filled with rage as he sees Edwin strapped to the chair, his eyes clamped open and his jaw bleeding profusely as the thick scarlet liquid congeals almost instantly in the air. His arms are bolted through the wrists to the chair, and his legs seem to have been strapped down. Standing over him, holding a pair of pliers with a bloodied human tongue in them, is a man with a face of thunder and hate staring at the interlopers. Various research notes are stored on desks, and monitors that show only a few readouts are mounted on the wall. Nestled between desks and monitors in the small room is an open elevator that goes straight up.
Hey, Shiver.
Hey, Xavier!
Should I roll a frenzy check?
In a moment.
Oh, okay.
I have that in my notes. I'm just wondering, you walk into this room, you're seeing your sire, you're seeing another guy.
The guy standing over him, does he look daunting at all? Like, I know you're talking about a face full of thunder, but like if I'm
He's
eyeing
not
this
as
guy,
big
who
as the
I'm like,
guards that were outside the door, but he's, fairly butch.
I might be mad, but I'm not. I also am hurt.
Yeah, I want to heal. That's all right.
Do a rouse check for me, please, Caleb.
Mm-hmm.
Gain a hunger.
Yeah.
Blood potency 1 or 2?
My blood potency is 2, so I get 2 back.
2 points of superficial.
Yeah. Handy. Cool. Yeah, no worries. I've got nothing else. Continue.
I'm looking between.
My options right now are so
Sire.
limited. My health.
So what, the guy just standing over him holding a tongue, that's it? Did he react to us in any way, or he looked to us?
He stood there waiting for you to do something. Thinking to himself, Jesus Christ, these guys are taking ages.
Fuck the health, whatever. I would blink and try to grapple the guy.
You're gonna blink? Okay, show me blink. I think that's a rouse check, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, rouse check for me. Strength brawl.
Of course.
Bonus.
Nice.
Yes, speciality applies. You absolutely plunge into the room, grabbing
Brutal
the
feet.
unknown figure.
Brutal feet. Brutal feet.
I'm going to mute you, Armon. Grabbing the figure, restraining him and watching as the pliers with the tongue drop to the floor in a splatter. What would you like to do to the body now that you're completely in control of it?
Feed on it.
Strength and brawl.
I would brutal feed on it. Remind me again, do I get the bonus for grappling on the feeding? I don't. Yeah, I just get my... I'm going to willpower reroll those 3.
Wonderful. You want to drain it?
Brutal feed.
Xavier extends his fangs
Brutal
out,
feed.
sinks them into the flesh of the unknown person. That's fine. And completely drains him of vitae. You may slake 3 hunger.
After he's drained, I'll just toss him aside and then approach and stand over Edwin. Is he
Frenzy
looking at
check.
me, or does he look like? Okay.
Difficulty 2.
There it is.
Wonderful.
And I will lean down, tap him on the cheek a little bit. Hey, you awake?
Man is unable to talk. As you notice, he's missing his tongue. But you do see his eyes slowly try and focus on you as blood drips down his cheeks.
Isn't this fitting?
At this point, Catherine's going to walk up, not exactly close to them, but cross both arms across her chest and address Xavier. If you notice, they cut out his tongue. That means he must have some information that he was going to say or could have said to someone. Maybe this is an opportunity to find out
I will
what it
turn
could
back
be.
to you and interrupt you and say, look, I spent my whole undead life chasing this fucker down. If you feel like the first thing I'm going to fucking do is kill him without getting information, you've got me all wrong.
Well, good. Then how? How are you going to
Go
get that
get a pen and
information?
paper.
Do you have the
You might not have a
ability
dog, you
to
can still
get that?
fucking write.
Do you have the ability to get it out of him without his tongue?
Shiver, I walk over. Are there the notes on the table? Or is there a pen around?
No. It's all computer
No?
stuff. All the
Except for the
readouts,
notes.
all the notes are printouts.
Question: are there computers around that I might be able to access or type on, or?
Yes. There is one computer.
Want to go over and investigate to see what information the computer holds?
I am sure Silas carries a pen with him.
Federico. Intelligence, technology, difficulty 8, please.
8. I'll pass, thank you. If it's 8.
Roll it.
No, I can't pass? Oh, I gotta
No,
roll
you've
it.
said you're going to do it. So you're going to do it.
Okay.
You got lucky. Federico sits in front of a computer terminal, attempting to hack his way into it, break their passwords, but the Second Inquisition security is far too strong. Fortunately for him, he does not get too frustrated and doesn't have to restrain his own beast inside of him.
I told you. Nobody can hack the Gibson, man. Just come away. And like pulls Federico away slowly.
You said his arms were nailed to the chair, like on one thing through his wrist. I will go over and try to pull one of those nails out from one of his hands.
Strength and strength for me, please.
By buff. Ha ha ha. Or all those dice.
Xavier grabs the bolt by its head, willing his vitae into his arms and wrist, and manages to slowly, deliberately pull the bolt out to cause as much discomfort and pain to the subject as possible.
And then I'm gonna hold it up to his face.
You'll see his eyes slowly try and follow it and focus onto the bolt.
Think you can give us a little bit of information about what the fuck's going on here?
You see the eyelids strain.
Does it look like I can take whatever's on his eyes off, or no?
Yeah. I mean, it's not like you would give
Without
a shit
killing
if it
him.
hurts.
I'm not worried about hurting him.
Without killing him, absolutely. But it will hurt.
Yeah, I give no fucks about that.
I didn't think you would.
I reach up and take him off. Yeah.
Do dexterity and dexterity for me, please.
I buffed that one too. I'm a fucking surgeon.
Xavier looks down at the device holding the kindred's eyelids open, realizes he's able to gently pull it off, but instead chooses to rip it off, damaging the kindred's eyelids, causing more blood to profusely leak over his cheeks.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
His head slumps forward.
Hey, Silas, this might be you later.
What's up, Xavier?
Do we have a pen?
Silas would reach into his jacket pocket and pull out a pretty nice pen. It's like, I'll get this back, right? No blood? Well, minimal blood.
I'm not going to stab him with it.
Oh, good. Pen. Then Silas would hand it to him.
And there's no paper, so I'll be brave. I'm gonna hand him the pen, see if he takes it.
A shaky hand slowly lifts up and just about manages to grip the pen in your grasp.
All right. I will hold my arm out. Write what any info you think could be valuable to us in this. If you stab me with that, I will kill you the slowest way I can.
It takes a few minutes, but he slowly scrawls out, very shakily, the word help.
Help. Really?
Catherine crosses her arms back across her chest again and walks over and just stands with the milk. Just watching. Head tilted.
Silas.
Yes.
Intelligence awareness for me, please.
Sure.
That's fine. Silas looks at the wreck of Kindred sat in the chair. Given his experience with incredibly twisted and dark events in his past, he's able to recognize that right now that this Kindred is not in any state to communicate.
Xavier, I think as stress as he's endured, he's probably hungry and just not able to think clearly. I say we secure him, keep him overnight, get him fed, let him heal some, and then see if he can give us information.
I pull my shotgun out and put it to his head.
Edwin's or Silas?
Xavier.
Edwin.
Xavier, wait. I reach into the inside of kind of jacket and pull the stake out. Throw it to Xavier.
It just falls on the floor.
Is it? God damn it. Jam that in his chest. We can drag him out of here. You can have your way with him. You get what you want. We find out what he knows.
Forgive me, but the last thing I'm gonna fucking do is hand this guy over to any Camarilla fucks.
No,
this guy
you
took my kid away from me.
You misunderstand me. You take him with you.
No.
I have a place where you can hold him up. He won't be able to get out in his condition.
I press it further into his head.
Catherine looks at Xavier, and says, listen, you've got rage, you've got hate, you want him dead. Far be it for me to stop you from having your revenge and your justice. No problems with that. I say cut him into little tiny itty bitty little pieces. Save him for a snack, put him in a freezer. That is all something you can do. But if he has information enough for them to cut out his tongue, that means it's got to be valuable. It's got to be worth something.
I lean up against the door frame because it's kind of where I've just been hanging out at. and I go, Xavier, if you do it now, he probably won't even know what's going on. If you want to make it count, let him be lucid for it.
Don't let his death be in vain.
Shiver, what generation was he?
Generation are you?
13th.
And he's 12th.
Like I said, I have a place back at my haven where you can keep him just long enough to get more information about him, and then you can rip him apart as slow as you want to.
I put the shotgun down and go over and slowly pull the other stake out of his other arm.
Strength and strength for me, please.
Nice.
Would you like him completely freed, or do you just want this bolt?
I just want the bolt for now.
I can't think of a way to make this fashionable and fitting and a flourish, but you better believe you pull that bolt out cleanly.
Oh, I
Would
mean,
you like
I can make it fashionable for you. You want me to
Yeah,
PM you what I want to do?
Just up here.
Or you just want me to say it? Okay. When I pull the bolt out, I'll just turn back and I'll say, I'm not fucking carrying him, and I'll flip the bolt around and I'll stake him with the bolt.
You want to stake him?
Mm-hmm.
Strength and melee, please.
I'm gonna sit around him. Chair. 2.
Oh, that's actually good. Yeah.
I will even, if that's not going to succeed, I will WP reroll.
Better WP reroll then for me.
4.
Well, I mean,
Which ones did you reroll?
1, 5, and 3. 1, 5, and 3.
Then that's
Well,
a
it's
complete
a called
fail.
shot, isn't it? Yeah, it's a called shot. You would have wanted to reroll the successes.
Wait, what?
Yeah, stake is a called shot.
I don't understand why you would reroll the successes, though.
Because stake is reversed. 5 or less is a success on a called shot.
Oh, I didn't know that. So
Then we can Then tell you what, reroll the original roll, because you've paid willpower. So reroll the original roll.
So I reroll the 9 and 6.
Yeah, that's better. Xavier takes the bolt and plunges it into the chest of the captive kindred. You hear a slight release of pain, but then the kindred remains completely silent and still.
I just leave his body in the chair and walk away. I bump Caleb in the shoulder when I pass him.
All
Is he free enough?
hobble over.
Is he,
Go ahead.
is he free enough that I can pick him up? Those, being here.
You need to release the bindings and stuff, but that's no issue at that point.
All right, I'll carry him.
As Federico goes to grab him, I'll actually put a hand out and stop him and go, I've got it.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like if anybody, if Xavier would want anybody to be carrying it, it'd probably be me.
Well, I don't mind helping you. I
Yeah,
can
me too.
always help you carry part of it.
I'm good,
I think-
and
I know I'm a
fireman-
girl, but
I think
Yeah,
we need
I'm not a
your
newbie.
talents best served elsewhere, dear.
really, tell me how.
You see, Caleb stop for a second, and he's got like 1,000 different answers for that question.
I throw him over my shoulder, fireman carry style.
We can discuss such things later. Let's get what we came for and get out.
Federico, what's your
Then
technology?
lead the way.
What's that?
What's your technology?
My technology is 2.
What's your intelligence?
2.
I have technology 2 and intelligence 3, if that helps.
I think between at least the two of you, one of you would have the idea of, let's use the elevator that goes straight up rather than go through all these closed doors.
I point to the
We'll do
elevator.
that. Yeah. Good call.
I think we go to the elevator.
Okay.
Yeah.
The elevator takes you straight up, and you find yourselves outside the church, some distance away from it, but still relatively close to it. Back on street level, alone, in the dark, with no cameras.
Night here.
How close are we to the van?
5-minute walk, if that.
I don't even stop to talk to anybody. I just start walking towards the van or the car, whatever.
I follow.
I follow as close as I can get to Amon as possible.
We didn't get to blow the fucking place up. Fine. He follows.
Oh, do you guys think the voice that we heard was the guy who was holding the tongue?
Yeah, it's a good point. He never said anything.
No,
I
I
hope
God,
so,
what
because
was
he's
that?
dead now.
think it was a program he installed, AI.
Are you heading back to the van?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and as soon as I get there, I throw the piece of shit in the trunk.
Where is everybody else at this point? If he throws it into the back of the van, where's everyone else?
Leaning against the van, lighting up a cigarette.
Probably just standing outside. What would a moody teenager do? Yeah, my back would be turned, everybody with my hands in my pocket.
I would want to inspect the van to make sure they didn't bug it or something. Or track it.
We parked far enough away that they didn't know what vehicle we were from.
Okay.
While Xavier's being moody, I walk up and I pull a key out of my pocket and I hand it to him. I go, since he's staying at my place, here's a key. You can come by anytime you want.
I look at the key in my hand and thanks. Put it in my pocket.
Mission success, I suppose. So, are we to assume that whatever this chap knows is going to help against it?
I doubt it. We honestly
Gotta
probably should
remember.
have left.
He's a kindred too. He might have been caught by the Second Inquisition, but he's not that stupid. You want him to tell you something, you're gonna have to pull it from him. I suggest we find somebody that's able to do that. Somebody a little Tremere. Sucks they're all gone.
Honestly, I mean, this place is they're probably gonna move shop now that they found somebody made their way in, but it would have probably been a good idea to leave something that maybe pointed them in the direction of our problem. We could inadvertently get a little bit of help.
Caleb, did you drop off your flyers?
I'd have left the flyers in the lift when it went back down. Just throw them in the lift as when it went back down, assuming it came back out of the ground and then whatever down again. So yeah, I did that.
So Catherine's sitting in the back seat and kind of like running her tongue across her teeth a little bit, thinking she probably should have fed, but pulls up a corrosive vitae into her mouth.
Rouse check for me, please. Gain a hunger. Plop.
She's gonna kill us all.
You know, guys, this has really been fun. I really enjoyed it. I think you guys are awesome. And she goes ahead and spits the vitae onto the seat and starts to melt through it. Reaches out, grabs the body, starts to make a run for it, hitting obfuscate.
Can I shoot her?
I mean, you can try.
I mean, can I use split second to shoot her?
No, because you're not interrupting the storyteller.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you just said I can try, so yeah. I mean,
you can try to shoot her, though.
Okay. I'm trying to wound her. That way, when she obfuscates, she leaks blood everywhere.
Do composure and firearms for me, please. You want to stick with it?
I can only reroll one, right?
What's your willpower at the moment?
2.
You can reroll.
No, I'm just yeah. I can only do 1 dice though. 1 dice is a failure, right?
Yeah, I think
6.
Xavier, in the split second that this all happens, quickly takes out his shotgun, reacting as fast as he can, fires off a round, slightly missing Catherine as she disappears into the night and out of their sight, along with his sire.
I look back at Caleb.
Wait for it. Don't say it.
No, I'm good with you. Pandora gave us that bitch. You deal with Pandora, or I will. And I get in the car.
That's not true. It's not what Pandora told you at all.
She's the one that told us about her.
But it was directly from the Camarilla elders, not from Pandora.
Oh, well then, fucking Cammy.
Caleb's bosses, basically.
Yeah. And I immediately take out the the battered Nokia 3310 that I always carry around with me. Today in a fashionable Hello Kitty case. And just text WTF question mark exclamation mark to the one number that's on there. wait for wait for a response.
Just to let you guys know, everyone. Just let everyone know I am not connected to her. I don't know what her plan was or anything.
Banu, nobody knows their fucking plan.
This,
Come on.
this is annoying and troublesome.
I pocketed the goddamn steak because I didn't trust her.
Caleb receives a text moments later. It merely says, "A target was needed for debrief."
I'd reply back asking, like, are we getting that information?
And you'll get a text back. It just merely says, "If we think you want it."
Well, we do want it. Do they mean need it?
No.
Right.
So there's just a hole through the back seat of my car now?
Yeah. I hope you have insurance.
She grabbed it and I assume ran out of like the door going to that seat. And I see Caleb just texting away on his phone or whatever. And I just slammed the door shut and go, "Your bosses owe me a car." And I just like open the driver's side door way too hard and jump in and slam it shut.
I get into the car. I'll try to be away from the hole in the seat as possible.
Caleb is suddenly very pleased that they didn't take the jag at the end. In the end. I guess.
Any last? Sorry, go on. Any last things?
I send a reply asking for Catherine's contact details. Number question mark.
You simply get a one-word answer: denied.
I'm going to text Lance. It's okay, I'm not calling. I'm texting.
I want to hear him talk though.
The text will read, "Can you get me some astrolite?"
While I'm only driving, I'm passing.
Hang on, you've still got astrolite with Caleb.
We've got some.
I don't have it. Caleb does. I don't know if Caleb's going to get it for what I want to do.
Okay.
You're going to have to leave that one with me while I decide whether or not he'll have access to it.
Do you want me to tell you what I want to do with it first?
After the game.
In a PM? Yeah.
Or in a PM, yeah.
While I'm only driving, I pass him a business card. Say I happen to make weapons. Or if you ever need a replacement or repair, let me know.
Now you tell me.
Silas would give a wry smile. Can you repair SUVs?
No.
I'm not sure if it would help, but this might actually come in handy. And I'll take it and pocket it.
Any last minute things anyone wants to do or say?
Kind of sitting in the passenger seat, looking suitably dejected.
Excellent.
We should have had our heads on a swivel. This is
Okay,
how they end up making anarchs of people.
Caleb quite possibly might be the last Camarilla I ever trust.
Hey, Xavier. Go ahead and keep that key. I've got a place you can tear shit up if you need to.
And on that note, we'll call it in for tonight. Thank you all for coming.